Let me see, is it on? Hello, everybody. We're live. Yes, honey. And I have here with me Miss Brenda Marlene, sweetheart. Yes. I know.
Hello.
Yes. Let me see. 1 second. There we go. Okay. I was just seeing there's actually people in the chat, honey. Me and Brenda were just talking for a minute because we actually never really talked for the first time.
Yeah.
So sorry we're like 3 minutes late. But yeah, I got Brenda here, honey. Do you want to introduce yourself and introduce your channel?
I'm Brenda. My channel is Brenda Marlene 2026. I'm not really. I was telling Felicia I don't really consider myself a content creator. I'm just keeping a living journal, a living diary, if you will, that's public.
Yes.
And I'm doing that so I can see where I started, see where I'm going, and kind of see where I end up. And my commitment to myself was to be transparent and honest, so that even the bad stuff is, or the unpretty stuff is shared, because at the time that I created the channel, I didn't see anybody that I felt was really touching on the negative. They were mostly touching on the wins, if you will, which is fine. I have nothing against that. But I couldn't really relate to them because while they were all consistent and dedicated and committed and doing everything perfectly, I was struggling. I'm still struggling every day. So I wanted to kind of put that out there so that if there's anybody else who was feeling alone, maybe somehow that would help. But it wasn't my intention to teach anything. It's just my intention initially, like I was saying, to be selfish and just kind of watch and document my own journey so I could look back and see what's going on. And if it helped anybody, then that was a huge win.
And that's how I actually found Brenda, honey. I found her because I was like, you know what? Let me go check out Brenda, okay? Because I've seen Brenda, but I never really seen Brenda in her videos. So there's this video that I watched, and it's called "What I've Learned So Far: My New Understanding of GLP-1's True Purpose on This Lifelong Journey." She put it out March 10th. When I tell you, I watched that video. It is like 47 minutes long. I watched it and I felt everything she was saying. I was like, nobody is talking about this. Nobody's talking about what obesity really does to you. Grand scheme, lifelong, honey, like what it does to the mind. And everything she was going through, I just felt it. And I was like, I gotta email Brenda like today and ask her to go live. Because the reason why she wanted her channel to be up was to reach somebody. Honey, she reached me. Okay.
Well, I'm glad. I'm very glad. I'm honored that was able to help you. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome, sweetheart. We got Ellie here. Hello, Miss Ellie. How are you, sweetheart? We got Miss Cole. Hey, Felicia and Brenda. She's saying hello.
Hi, everyone.
How's your Friday going? How's your Friday going, Miss Brenda?
It was it was a little hectic this morning, but it's been actually pretty good day today.
That's good. I got my braces tightened, so I'm extra tight right now.
Oh.
We got Miss Paula, honey. Hello, Felicia, Brenda, and everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody from Miss Paula, honey. Let me see.
Yeah.
Paula, hey, Paula. So excited to see Brenda's debut. See,
she's my cheerleader.
Yes, she was like, "Let me know when she's going on, okay? See her." I said, "Say less."
Her and Cookie are my cheerleaders. Hi, everybody. I see Paul and Grant and Life.
Yes. I'm just going through the chat. My bad.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be quiet and wave while you.
No. You're totally fine. Nicole, I'm sorry you had a migraine for 3 days straight. Okay, sweetheart. I hope you feel better and relieved very soon, sweetheart.
I'm sorry
Yes.
to hear that. I
Oh,
have migraines. Get it.
Yeah. It's terrible. Hello, Miss Jenny, honey. How are you, sweetheart? She said, hey, Felicia, Brenda, and everyone, okay? Everyone. Let's see. Hey, Jenny. Woohoo. I don't want to miss any of you guys. Paula said, looking beautiful, ladies. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. We got Miss Delilah here. Look at that. She said, hi, everybody. How are you, sweetheart? I just saw your video. It just dropped. Say, hey, Jenny. Hey, Jenny. And we got Mr. Grant, honey. That's G Money. How are you, sweetheart? Thanks for being here. Look at her dog.
Blue's here too.
Yes.
Blue's interested.
He's like, are you guys saying hi to me? Okay. We got Lieutenant Grace. Hello, Grace, honey. How are you, sweetheart? Ella's in the same boat as us right now. Let's see. It's a fight. Perfect. It's a fight. Perfection is the impossible goal. Oh, that's what she's saying to you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's saying, Brenda, it's not all sunshines and rainbows.
Definitely not.
And that's on everything. And I like the fact that she does document it. And what I like about Brenda the most is like when you keep watching her videos, she's very unapologetically who she is. Like she's not gonna sugarcoat it for you. She's gonna sit there and tell you this is how I am, I was, what I'm doing, what it is, honey, and it is what it is. And I was like, oh, I don't know what it is about people that are so real. I love it so much because there's not enough people in this world space that are just real that will just tell you. Like Brenda was saying, everybody likes to be like motivating, encouraging, inspiring, beautiful, wonderful. When you are at your, I don't feel like getting up and working out and stuff. That's great to see, but it's those times to where you're like, I just don't want to do this, or I just can't do this. And it's venting that, it's releasing that I appreciate from Brenda, and because she's had years of experience doing this. And that's why the title is like lifelong obesity. We have been obese forever, honey. And we're going to get into like what it really did to us up here, okay?
Yay, fat chicks.
Yeah, right. And it's everything, okay? And if you can relate, okay, if you can relate, say it in the comments. He said hello, everyone say hello. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Well, yeah, I felt very alone seeing everybody go through everything perfectly, and I was struggling. Like, am I really the only one?
Right.
I mean, I'm on Zepbound and I'm struggling, and it's not the medication. It's just a long history of disordered eating, and I've gone through everything without being specific. All of the disorders at one point or another, or most of them anyway, and emotional. And, it's just, I have trouble. I go on I have days where I'm just off the rails and I have to fight to get back on. And it slows down the process. And it's not because of Zepbound not canceling out food noise or cravings or things like that. It's because there's damage up there that even the strongest GLP-1 habitually is just not, it's just not going to fix without a lot of hard work on my part, a lot of ups and downs on my part.
It's kind of like when you go to therapy and you got to start from the beginning. And then you're going to like, where did this stem from? Where did this behavior stem from? And you have to do a lot of work to even catch where you're at right now. And like I was saying, like me and Brenda, there's quite a bit of people I've met on here that they didn't become obese until after in life. like maybe adolescenthood, adulthood, after maybe a baby you had or a comorbidity that you developed. That's when obesity kind of kicked in. Me and Brenda remember being obese ever since we could remember being obese. The
Yeah.
damage that really does to you, that's what people really don't talk about, because like me and Brenda have lost over 100 pounds. But even if we were to get to our goal weight, up here is never like a normal person, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like how a normal slim person would be, they might look at us and be like, oh yeah, that's a thin person. When we do reach our goal or whatever it is, that's, you know, that's a healthy person. Up here, it's never gonna be that. It's always gonna be like the mistrust in people. It's always gonna be, I feel like I'm taking up too much space in the world. It feels everyone's staring at me negatively. Like these are the traumas that kind of happen about being obese, and I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it. Just like Delilah said right here, you're right. No one is talking about what this does to us, and it's important to have these discussions. Thank you, Brenda, for sharing the full journey. Yes, it is people like Delilah and Brenda who really have like unapologetically like, this is who I am. And I love that. Yes.
Well, thank you. I cannot remember a time not being put on a diet past the from 3 years old on up. I cannot remember a time where I wasn't on a diet. And I wasn't, by today's standards, I wasn't even that big. I was just a chubby little kid. Um, by today's standards, I've seen, children at my age back then. I see kids today in single digit numbers that are, 200 pounds. And that was not me. But unfortunately, my mother also had very disordered eating, which is not something that I understood until I became an adult, looking back and realized, oh, that's what was going on. And, it, I don't like it that you go through this, but I liked what you said about you feel like you're taking up space, like it should be given to other people. You're not worthy. It's an inferiority complex. And that is exactly, those words exactly are how I felt growing up, because I was constantly bullied and teased. And basically, the message I got all around me was, you don't deserve the same air that we breathe.
Oh, and you said it perfectly. That's exactly what I have been feeling. And
Mhm.
it's really weird to lose a lot of weight and start becoming the same category as those people who think like that.
Mhm.
I see somebody in the street and I see them at the highest weight I was. And I want to reach out and say, like, I know what you're feeling. I know who you are. Like, I know you, but I'm not that person no more. And yes, I've done the work. And yes, we have been on this medication, and it's done wonders for both of us. But I feel more comfortable next to somebody who was at my highest weight versus somebody who's where I am right now, and who has been at where I am right now. I don't relate to people who are in the Wonderlands. I don't think I ever really could. I'm always going to feel comfortable around these people that have the same ideology that I've lived with, because they understand me in a sense. Yes.
Well, I've been in Wonderland a couple of times. I've lost large amounts of weight of over 100 pounds 4 times prior, without
Yes.
medication or anything. And the longest that I've ever maintained it, as I had told you before we started, was 2 years. Um, it felt good to be in Wonderland when I was in the store shopping for clothes.
Yes.
The big letdown was, outside of shopping for clothes, I still felt like me.
It's up here.
Nothing changed. I still felt exactly like me. It was great to be in a smaller size, but that only resolved one problem. It didn't change, but I thought I was going to have all this confidence, and I was going to be attractive, and I was going to, just be this amazing personality. My true personality would come out, and I'd be this whole other person that I dreamed about being. And nope.
That's what it is. I think I'm experiencing that now, and you've experienced it like multiple times, losing
Yeah.
so 4 times that you're like,
And it doesn't
like.
fade.
That's crazy that you got on Zepbound and you're like, wow, this is working, and I'm gonna get back to that place again where I'm like, I still feel like Brenda up here. It doesn't feel like I'm Wonderland Brenda. All of a sudden, I'm like this Wonder Woman. It's just like I'm still me, and I'm still working on me. And I, of course, like the one thing I give up to like Choose Appetite or Zepbound is like the fact that the food noise is gone, and that has never been something that was available to us before Zepbound. And of course, it gave us a lot of clarity. You know, not having to constantly think about food, whatever diet we were on, it's not there. Yes, it gave us clarity, but now it's time to heal the mind when it comes to it. There's no plan to really heal that. There's no, I don't know, a book that you can read that's like, hey, get used to not being big no more, honey. Like, what? I'm in literal therapy for this, so
Well,
this is what I like to talk about.
I was in therapy for disordered eating and women's issues.
Yes.
And I've been in and out of therapy most of my life.
Period.
But I was with this one psychotherapist in particular right before I moved to Florida. Excuse me. And she was great. And she was teaching me skills to deal with disordered eating, and I still remember some of it, not all of it. But I've had some bad experiences with therapists too, and I don't want to discourage anybody from going to therapy because I've also had good ones. It's just a matter of finding the right person for you.
Yes.
I'm not in therapy now. I have been told many times I should be, particularly by comments and people in the chat and content creators. And I'm honestly not disagreeing. Just right now, it's not for me. Just for right now. Again, I have nothing against it. But I think the reason that I'm saying this is the thing that I'm 54 years old. So the thing that I'm learning, and it didn't happen until I became about my late 40s, and that is I started coming into my own. Yeah. So that whole feeling of, I'm taking up space and not worthy and that kind of thing. There's always that. Oh, there's always that in the background. And I don't think, honestly, that it's ever going to go away completely.
Right.
But I can say that it's quieted down quite a bit. But I don't think it has anything to do with the weight loss. I think it just has to do with being older, going through life.
Right.
Kind of, a midlife coming of age, if you will. I think that's just as you get older and you start to learn yourself, and life just changes, and I think you change with it. And I think that's where that comes from, not really the weight itself, because in terms of the weight loss, I'm on Zepbound, and what's interesting is I have wanted to be thin my whole life.
Yeah, that was what you were saying in the video.
I have wanted to be thin my whole life. You can call it what it is. Yes, of course I want to be healthy, but if you want to be honest, or you want me to be honest, to be fully transparent and care about health, I wanted to be thin.
Yes.
And what's interesting is, since I'm on Zepbound, it's something that I still want. I want to make that very clear.
Right.
But it's not any longer the first thing on my mind. The Zepbound has done so much for me physically, in terms of health, in terms of reducing pain and giving me mobility. Even before I lost any weight, it was giving me mobility. Um, that after feeling that, and after having lost mobility in my hands almost completely for 4 months,
Mhm.
as I've said in some of my videos, when I started Zepbound a year ago, I couldn't even hold a hairbrush. I have trigger finger and trigger thumb and rheumatoid arthritis,
Mhm.
and it hit my hands really bad, and and it got to the point where my husband was having to help me get dressed,
Yes.
and my friend, I was going to her to help me to brush my hair. My husband even tried to brush my hair, but I thought he was going to pull my brains out. So,
Oh yeah.
so that stopped
Right.
pretty fast. But after just being on, um, and actually, I should say I didn't start on Zepbound. I started on Wegovy.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
the first month, it it made me very ill. I guess I'm allergic to it, but I just had very bad reactions. But because I'm direct pay, as long as I was breathing, I didn't care. I was going to use it until I ran out, which I
Right.
did. And regardless of the side effects, I started getting movement in my fingers for the first time in about 3 days after starting the first shot of Wegovy. And after 2 weeks after the second shot, I was able to hold a hairbrush again and
Oh,
start moving my
wonderful.
hands. I started on Zepbound on the 5th week because I was having very bad reactions to the Wegovy. I was having fevers and swollen
Wow.
glands. Yeah, I was having swollen glands, and I was basically not even moving in terms of just trying to sleep it off
Yeah.
as much as I could between work. But um, it did give me movement in my hands. And then when I switched to Zepbound, it was such a relief because I didn't have any bad side effects at all, other
Yeah.
than fatigue, which I have autoimmune disease. So
Yeah.
I already had fatigue. But
Yeah, I always say like Trizepatide is gonna do what Trizepatide is gonna do, honey. I don't care who you are. It's
mhm.
gonna do what it has to do. Like if you got diabetes, honey, it'll help you. If you're obese, honey, it'll help you. It's really the king of like what medicine is. Like, and I was talking about that with somebody the other day. It's good. I mean, we can't deny what it does, and the fact that it helps with inflammation, it helps with fatty liver, it helps with like getting down to like the visceral fat. It helps with your heart. It helps with your kidneys. Protect your kidneys. It's like a drug that's like, what can't it do? You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing, and it has changed our lives.
Well, and they're starting to check. They're doing tests for dementia. They're saying
Yes, yes,
that,
I heard that.
and they're actually they're considering quite a few
They
different
are
things that they're testing, and I think that's where it's going. I think we're going to keep seeing all these different. Well, we're already seeing all these different GLP-1s coming out.
right. Oh
Um,
yeah, all like the next generation coming out.
mhm.
Let me go in the chat real quick. Okay, Delilah says we moved our lives to tomorrow, so no one felt split between us. Aw, thank you, sweetheart. She said, "Love you, FNB, honey. I love you too." And Mr. Paul, hello, sweetheart. How are you? I'm gonna skip over the hellos.
Hello,
Just so
everybody. Thank you for saying hi.
yeah, the people saying hi to each other. So Nicole says this is just as much of an emotional journey as it is a physical one. It's not even more of an emotional journey. And it is. It's a thing of like it's great to have the physical motivation and we got to get up and do what we got to do at the end of the day. You know, we get our movement in, we eat as best as we can. But people who have been obese since obesity could obese, honey, it's up here. I remember telling Nicole that when she posted a picture of herself pretty recently, I was like, I would have never known that you were a big person. And even she was like, that's the best compliment I ever got. And like the day somebody tells me that, I'm gonna feel like I'm in another world because it really is this weird like thing we're experiencing. And it's hard to explain, but I'm glad that like Brenda has the words to explain it, honey.
Oh, well, thank you. A lot of times I can't even remember my train of thought. So
Oh,
how
period.
did that you think so?
She said, I love your little corner, Brenda. Yes, it's such a beautiful view. I was
Thank
telling
you.
her that, yeah.
Thank you. Her name is Delilah. Is
Yes,
that's
Delilah.
hi,
Life with
Delilah.
Lala.
I saw you on the live with Felicia. I think it was the replay I caught. It was nice to
Yes.
see you. Hello.
Yeah, she was on the last live I had. Yeah, Delilah is cool people. And like talking to her, I was like, you understand, honey. You understand this obesity, okay?
Yeah, it's I it has I came up with this term. People talk about food noise. Uh, I call it weight noise because even though um, the Zepbound is capable of cutting out food noise for a lot of people, and it did for me for a long time.
Right.
Um, it the weight, the thoughts of my weight every day, every minute, that never stopped. Never. I may have the harassment of the food noise, it quieted for a long time, but constantly being conscious of my weight, how I look, who's looking at me, um, being invited to social situations that I would
Yes.
duck out of because I don't want to be around people. I don't want to be around I don't want to be around people not because of them, but because of the way I look, because of the how the clothes fit, because there's food there and I don't want anybody seeing me eat and
Oh,
just I mean I missed graduations. I skipped graduations because I begged my mother. I just said I don't, I just didn't want to partake because I didn't want to be the center of attention. I didn't want to be
right.
seen up there and I didn't want to have to go through all that. I have missed weddings that I've been invited to. I just everything. And
Yeah.
you know, I growing up I was also in a fiberglass brace from my hips up to my shoulder blades
Oh, wow.
for scoliosis.
Okay.
And I was so bullied even before I was in that brace. But I was I was being pulled down the stairs by other kids backwards. And I was having all constant they weren't fat jokes, they were just flat out derogatory fat comments that
Right.
were being yelled out. I remember crossing the street to go to school. I was in high school and I was crossing the street and I can't repeat what they said because it's
Right.
YouTube. But
Right.
it was, hey, you fat F, hurry the F up, and I just
Yeah.
remember, and it was an adult yelling
Yeah.
this at me. And
I've experienced the same thing crossing the street, and I was just like, I'm just trying to cross the street. The thing, it's like that's where the mistrust comes from. When people tell you you look so good,
yeah,
when you hear, you can hear 10 positive things, but if you hear that one negative, that sticks with you.
yes,
And all the negativity that we've had for all these years, I mean years, is stuck. And so it's hard to unstick that from you. I mean, as much as people are like, you look good, you're doing good, we have to let go of those negative thoughts, but it is very hard, honey.
well,
Very.
especially when you've dealt with it your whole life. I mean, I'm dealing
You're
with it for 5 decades. It's like,
yeah, you've dealt with it for
you
a
know,
long time, honey.
it doesn't matter if it's 1 decade. It's just hear constantly, it becomes a constant part of your life, how the world sees you. You know,
Right.
I have already experienced, and I still have over 100 pounds to lose, just to be clear. I'm still morbidly obese.
Mhm.
I'm 246 today. So I'm actually a pound up, but that's 10 pounds down from the weight that I gained.
Right.
Um, you know, it's, I already at just the difference from being 347, let's say at my recorded weight to 247, I see the difference in how I'm treated already, and I'm still morbidly obese, but I'm having less nasty looks and having a little bit more respect than what I did in the 300s. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it's all because of the weight or if it's because I've started walking with more confidence. I'm wearing makeup now, which I did not wear any makeup. And if you go back and look at most of my videos, I didn't even start wearing makeup till like July. Um, Maybe because it looks like I'm taking better care of myself, care more that
Right.
people are treating me differently because of that. I don't know, but I do know that there's a difference in how you get treated based on appearance.
Right. And it's kind of like how you were saying, like, you didn't want to go to social situations. You're like, I don't want to go there. And like being obese for so long, it forces you to be an introvert. And like
Hmm.
it really forced me to be like, I don't want no attention on me. Obesity is the one disease or the one addiction that they could see it on you right away. You could be an alcoholic and hide it. You could
Right.
be a smoker and hide it. You could
Absolutely.
be a user and hide it. But if you love food and you are addicted to, people could see it. And it's like, I don't want anybody else to see me, so I'm not going to put makeup on. I'm not going to wear, small clothes. I'm going to wear, black mostly. I'm going to wear something that's going to hide me. Like, I don't want anybody to look at me. I'll grow my hair so long so that I can, like, hide all my double chin. Like, I didn't want people to look at me at all. So, and it got to a point where, like, I'm not going to go outside. Why go outside when I could just be here and be safe and not have to deal with anything? Why go
Hmm.
outside? And then now that I have lost 140 pounds, it's kind of like people hold the door open for me. And I'm like,
Hmm.
and it makes me so mad because I'm like, why? Like, you guys weren't even, like, when men hit on me or when people give me a compliment, I don't even mean to be negative because I will take it. I'm like, oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you
Yeah.
so much. But there is that person in the
Yeah.
back of my head who's like, man, they would have never done that, or they would have never said that, or they would have never thought that when you were at 350. And it's that negative mindset that's what I'm working on,
Hmm.
because I'm not a negative person. Losing weight, yeah, like Brenda said, it maybe gave me more confidence. Maybe I wasn't in pain so much, so I'm like, I can like breathe better, I can smile more, I can walk around, so I just look a lot lighter and happier.
And people pick up on that.
And people do pick up on it. And I was hoping that, like, yeah, maybe I was trying to be super duper sweet in the 350s, but it's hard to be like, hello, how are you, when you had to walk up a flight of stairs and you can't breathe,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like, okay, it's those type of things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in the chat real quick because the chat is rolling, honey. Hello, Miss Nikki, how are you, sweetheart? Cookie said, Brenda, what's happening, girl?
Hi, Cookie. Hi, Paula. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Paula, it was my original channel name for like 10 years. Yeah, this was her original channel name. Let's see. I'm gonna go over. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it's in the chat, honey. Okay, there you go. Paula says, "No, you're not alone. My son is also struggling. He says he can tell the difference with the medication." Oh, okay. I don't know if you're responding to somebody or.
Well, I think Paula is talking about, because I was
Oh, her
saying
son.
that
Yeah,
I'm on 7.5 now,
me too.
and I have not lost a pound a head. I I am here. I believe I am, not believe, I know that I was experiencing food noise again,
Right.
cravings again. And I say was just because, and I haven't actually shared this with Paula or anyone yet. In the well, I think I might have, but not specifically.
Right.
In the last 4 days, because I've been trying to catch up on the weight that I had gained, which was the 10 pounds.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of did a reset. I
Yes.
had to relook at what I was eating, what time of day I was eating. I was dealing with all these cravings and food noise, and I was trying to find. There are certain foods that are my go-tos that help me reset because they basically work like an eraser. They kind of help quiet the food noise, and they
Yeah.
stop the cravings.
Hmm.
You know, just like a lot of people will say, particularly on a GLP-1, they go to their protein first.
Right.
Well, I basically went to a very bland, cut out everything. I don't like to say diet, but basically, um, I'm, first of all, I don't eat animal products when I'm doing what my intention is.
Right.
And then if I am off the rails, the only animal product that I'm eating is dairy.
Okay.
I haven't had meat of any kind or poultry or anything in 20 years.
Wow.
But,
That's amazing.
well, it isn't amazing for me just because
Okay.
I never really liked meat, so it wasn't like giving up anything.
Okay.
As soon as I found out I wasn't going to die from rickets for not
Right.
eating meat, I was like, woohoo.
He said, "Thank goodness, honey." Okay.
Don't have to do that anymore. So, and my husband, just to be clear, would grow a cow in the backyard if he could, so he
Oh my
could have
gosh.
steak every night. So it's not me trying to convert anybody. This is just my
It
personal
is.
choice. I just dietary. I was never big on meat, and so that's my thing. And for health reasons for myself, I try to follow a vegan diet. I'm not an ethical vegan. I'm just in terms of food and health.
Yeah.
So um, I have been very strict with myself for the last 4 or 5 days to get this extra weight off.
Mhm.
And when I say strict, I'm not restricting calories. I'm just basically back off of all the ultra processed foods, back
Okay.
off of all the I mean, pizza is my thing. I like
Period.
the thought of never having pizza again will make me cry.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
It's the truth though. Okay.
That is my thing. Pizza and pasta. That is the remaining 100 pounds plus that I have to lose is pizza and pasta in my fat
Period.
cells. So I'm basically eating beans, legumes, vegetables, and staying away from like pastas and all the things I basically quote unquote love. Um,
Like the carby food.
yeah, those are more bland foods, and I find that my cravings go away, my
Oh,
hunger goes away, the food noise quiets again, and I feel like that is helping. Now the 7.5 that was doing nothing for me is now working better for me eating
yeah.
that way, but I still have not gotten ahead of the weight loss. I've
Yeah.
basically been teetering between the same 3 pounds back and forth like a yo-yo, literally,
Right.
for the last 3 or 4 months now.
That's
So
understandable. Yeah.
I'm I'm not sure if I want to move to 10 or not. I'm direct pay. It's an extra 100 a month. Um, we can find it in the budget, uh, but it ticks me off to give Lily another $100.
And that's on everything, okay? Because I will tell you, I was on 10.5 for a couple months. I mean 10.5. girl, I was on 10 for a couple months. 10 is a beast, honey. She is no joke. When people do tell you like those crazy stories about 10, I was like, I think I got it, because I was on 7.5 for like 9 months. So I'm like, I think I got that in my system. I think I'm okay. Girl, I hit 10, and I was like, I don't want to look at food. I don't want to think about food. I didn't know how to live life, because I was like, man, it's 2 o'clock and I'm still haven't ate nothing. And I'm like, it was bad. And then I got on my new medication, and I was like, I couldn't do the Wellbutrin and 10 milligrams at the same time, honey. I wasn't gonna eat, so I went back down to 7.5. And so I got my hunger back. And even that's like, I always tell people, like, you gotta be hungry because it's natural to be hungry, you know? We've been fighting against it for so long, but now that we have the suppressant, I always feel like nobody wants to be hungry anymore. It's like, honey, you gotta be hungry. It's human to feel hungry, okay? And it's okay. But now that I'm back down to 7.5, I'm like, I'm a little hungrier than I have been. And that's kind of a scary thought. And we, like I was saying, like being obese for so long, we have these weird irrational fears. Like, I don't know if you keep all of your old clothes. I got all of my old clothes.
I'm still wearing my old clothes.
Period. And me too. Like, it's just something that I'm like, I can't get rid of them, because what if I couldn't afford the meds no more? What if something got pulled from underneath me? What if I couldn't white knuckle this anymore? Like, what if? You know, without the meds, what if? And so I keep everything. But I know, like, in my hearts of hearts, you know, I would fight to keep where I am. I would do everything I can. Like you said, like, you're strict right now. And it's okay to be strict. You know, if you got a goal and you got to get to it however you need to get to it, as long as you're healthy about it, it's fine. That's in my opinion, though. Let me go in the chat real quick. Because Delilah said 44 years of obese check-in, honey. Okay.
Okay. I've actually increased my calories in the last 4 days, believe it or not. I'm actually having more calories on these foods than I was on the junk, or the same as, I should say.
Yeah. No, I've done, like, but I remember when I first got onto the GLP-1 scene in these streets, and I was telling people I was eating 1,800 calories, they're like, oh my God, how do you fit that much food inside of you? And I'm like, you guys can't eat. Like, I could eat past this if I wanted to. I restrict myself here. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, no, I eat under 1,500. I eat under 1,300. I've seen a lady eat 1,000 calories. And I was like, okay, that's a little much for me. It's a little much for me. But I'm kind of like, I'm okay with eating. You gotta eat. And slowly you started seeing other people starting to raise their calories, because either A, they were losing their hair, or B, they were stalling out. So never be afraid to eat more, even with the subject that we're talking about, because me and Brenda have experienced things like disordered eating, lifelong trauma when it comes to obesity. But that's the part that we are trying to heal with ourselves. Like, it's okay to eat, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Okay.
And I think too that I don't think it's irrational to have these fears, because based on our experience, it makes sense that we would have these fears. I mean, that's, you know, unless you're on Mounjaro for diabetes and you're not overweight.
Right.
You know, there's, whether it's for diabetes and obesity, or just obesity, or some other comorbidity that you're taking it for. I think, you know, most of us here have some weight that we've had to lose if we're not already in maintenance. And I think that, you know, it makes sense to be afraid, because these are, you know, this is new territory for a lot of us.
You said it, honey.
And you're afraid of the, you know, it's scary. It's, the unknown is scary. I'm not so worried anymore about when going on a GLP-1 was first mentioned to me, I was dead set against it. I was sure that I was sure it was going to kill me.
What? That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that.
I was terrified, because I just kept thinking, well, if you put that in you and you have these horrible side effects, pancreatitis and whatever, and you can't get it out of you because it's in you. It's like,
for
what
a
are you
whole week.
gonna do?
I could see that. Yeah.
I was just hearing all these horrible side effects, and I was like, oh my god, I'll die. And you know, in fact, I was so scared that my doctor gave me the prescription. I took it to the pharmacy. This was for Wegovy now. I took it to the pharmacy and I said, don't fill it. Put it in storage. I haven't decided yet. And it took me YouTube. It took me tuning in to see. And then I found out that actually this medication, this genre of medications have been out for well over 20 years.
Yes. The
So
Saxendas and the
so this whole thing about you don't know what it's going to do to you 20 years from now, well, kind of too, because it's been out for 20 years.
Exactly. It's a stigma, I guess.
Yeah, well, and because it was never really publicized before. Nobody ever heard of this unless you were diabetic. Like my husband was on Trulicity. We didn't know that was a GLP-1.
Wow.
We just thought it was diabetes medication. And it was Trulicity. We didn't know what the heck they were talking about.
That's kind of what me and Delilah were talking about, because she was like, I didn't know Manjaro would help you lose weight. And I was like, when my dad was taking Manjaro, we didn't know that it was supposed to help him lose weight. We just thought it's a diabetes medication. Yeah. He has diabetes. Let's give him a shot once a week. It's probably something like insulin. And then he started dropping weight, and I was so scared because I'm like, my dad is getting skinny. This is probably a bad side effect, and he's not eating. And they're like, nah, girl, Manjaro's supposed to do that. And I'm like, what? And they're like, there's a weight loss version to that, and it's Zepbound. And I'm like, what? And that's why I ended up going on Zepbound. It's a whole story, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just go in the chat real quick. It's helpful to see other people share their journey for that reason. Everyone's going to experience different things, but it's also helpful to see the similarities too. Yes, a mental journey as well. You said that on point, sweetheart. Yes, thank you, Miss Jenny, honey. I'm sorry, Paula. I hope your son sees a difference soon. Oh, yeah, she was talking about her son. He's on 5 milligrams Zepbound. Okay, yeah. Yes, then I truly do hope so. She said, I hope so too, Jenny. He's trying, but the food noise is still there. Also, you may have to go up more. I just don't know. Yeah, the food noise is there. I mean, of course, talk to your doctor first, because me and Brenda are not doctors.
Nope.
Oh, Miss Grace says, 13 watching. Thanks for hitting that like button, and we appreciate it, sweetheart. Yes. She said, Paula, whatever it takes. Let's see. Okay, Paula. Okay, they're just talking to Paula. I'm trying to see if I missed anybody.
Paula.
Oh, here we go. She said, connect with Brenda. Yes, that is Brenda's YouTube channel. Thank you, Grace, for putting her YouTube channel in there. Yes, because, like, Brenda is one of those people, like, she doesn't get a crazy amount of views, but what she's talking about, honey, is real. Like, she has, like, that corner, like, you know, we all have that one creator that doesn't have a lot of people following them and whatnot, but you just feel nice and cozy over there because you're like, oh, these are nice little videos, and this is my little quiet space. That's Brenda's videos for me. Because I'm like, okay.
And to be fair, a lot of them are depressing.
Period. But I've been depressed for years, honey, so it's comforting.
A lot of my videos are depressing, but that's because I'm journaling my experiences, and I've had a lot of difficulty. My husband's been very ill for a long time, and that's been affecting me during my weight loss, and I talk about that. I don't focus on GLP-1s. I just focus in general, like what's going on, and include my eating, I would say, more than even the GLP-1 medication, just so everybody's understanding, and you're not going to find bells and whistles and hurrahs at my channel.
If you're down for the realness, and if you have struggled with lifelong, disordered consuming, or if you've struggled with the lifelong obesity, like, Brenda knows how to talk about it. Like, there's some things where, like, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this, I just don't know how to say it, and I can literally, like, I found her and I was like, oh my God, she's saying it. She knows exactly how to say it. Like the way she articulates how she feels, even in the moment, even if it's like, look, I'm just going through this today, or I felt like this yesterday, or I'm off the rails last week. She just knows how to articulate it so well. That's why, if you guys want to check her out, please do. She is wonderful. Okay. Delilah says, "You're welcome, sweetheart." That's too underrated. I lost 170 plus pounds and I still wear my clothes I've been wearing at my biggest most days because I don't feel different at all. Delilah understands, honey. Delilah understands. Yes. Paula says, I've lost 80 pounds almost to goal and I still look at myself and I don't believe what I see. And then there's that.
Mm-hmm.
I experienced that a little too much where I was actually at the grocery store with my dad. And he was like, I was looking all the way up and down the aisles. I was trying to find you. And he's like, I couldn't find you. And I was like, I've seen you like 3 times. And he's like, you just don't look the same anymore. And that hit me. Like, my dad doesn't even recognize what I look like. Because in his head, he's thinking, like, where is, my daughter who happens to be big, honey? Like, that's what he's used to. Even he's not used to seeing me, like, at a far distance. Well, he can't really see that well. But, like, he can't, like, he's like 75. Let's be real. But it's even on him, like, he can't even recognize me. And I'm like, wow, it's getting real.
Are you talking about just your experience, or are you talking about you saw a video I did about my husband not recognizing me?
Oh, no, that was my experience. But if you had the same
I did a video about that with my husband in the grocery store, standing sideways, and he walked past 3 times. And he's like, damn it.
I'm telling you.
I didn't you look so different.
It's strange. And I'm like, I go grocery shopping with my dad all the time. For him not to recognize me, I'm like, what? I know exactly how you feel. Like, your husband's like, where is she? Where is my woman, okay?
Well,
walk right past you, honey.
You know what's happened? I have and I'm not saying this to brag, but I have it for work. I have a desktop computer, a laptop computer, and now I have a cheap little tablet. Actually, I shouldn't have mentioned the tablet. But the laptop and the desktop, they do the facial recognition. I can't get in anymore.
No way.
I have to do the pin. Well, I keep getting a message, something about does not recognize.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
and they don't talk about it. Girl, you said it's yes, please open up. And it's those weird things that we experience. Like, I have a cell phone that you have to put your finger on here to do your thing. I guess my fans aren't fat anymore. So I try to do it and it won't open my phone. And it's like, incorrect. I'm trying to log into my bank and I'm like, please, like, find me. Like, see, it's not turning on. It's weird losing weight in a weird way. It's like, man, I lost fat in my fingers. It's weird. Doses of Shawnee. Hello, sweetheart. How are you, honey? How are you? We got Miss Vanessa Gray. She said, hey, Brenda. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Brenda, honey. Yes. Oh, we got Brian. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? Yes. He's saying hello to everybody. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello. Vanessa Gray says, thank God it's Friday. And that's on everything. Okay. Oh, he says, I'm glad to be here, Felicia Marie. Oh, how are you doing? I'm doing good, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well, too. Let's see. Oh, we got Miss Kim J, sweetheart. Hello. How are you? Yeah. I hope you're doing wonderful, honey. Paula said, that's so wonderful to hear, Brenda. I'm glad that Zepbound has helped you with your mobility. Yes.
Thank you, Paula.
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it won't let me scroll down. There you go. Delilah says, my doctor said for arthritis in my spine, Manjaro is the first line of defense. Now, if the insurance will cover it, Manjaro is going to do. Manjaro's going to do.
I think it's time. It's going to, because they know it's an anti-inflammatory, and that's by the way what obesity is. It's inflammation. I mean that's actually, if you look it up, that's what it is. It's inflammation.
Yeah, now that they like officially documented it as like obesity,
the disease of obesity. I think I'm not 100%.
It's like 4 or 5 stages or something.
Yeah, there's 5, and I think you have to have 3 out of the 5 symptoms, if you will, or conditions to declare it disease of obesity.
Yeah, because I was going through the list and I met 4 out of 5, and I was like, oh, I was obese then. Yeah, because like I forgot what live I was in. I was in a different live, and they were talking about like how there's some people who got on the medicine, but then they managed to get off of it and they kept the weight off, and they're kind of like, well, maybe you truly weren't medically obese, or the people who have, you know, then got off and then gained the weight back, and then just it was a back and forth type of thing. That's where like the obesity kicks in. There's not enough like out there with the 5
Information, yes.
categories, yeah, for them to. But I hope one day that there is,
Oh,
so
there
that
will.
yeah, so that
There
the
has
people
to be. There's too many of us not to be.
yeah, and it's too much in the world. Like, there's no coincidence why Manjaro is in the UK. That's an obese country. Why it's in India. That's an obese country. Why it's in America, the most obese country. And it's spreading everywhere too. Like,
Australia.
obesity is around the world.
Australia.
Australia, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's everywhere.
Hello, Journey. How are you, sweetheart? Sorry, I'm like behind in the chat, but it's okay. Let's
My
see. Oh,
fault.
there you go. Nicole says it has benefits for my fibromyalgia, hypothyroidism,
Stitchel.
interstitial cystic, and arthritis, and who knows what else. And I remember hearing it first from Miss Linda, from Miss Linda's Journey, where she's like, my inflammation's gone, and she has arthritis, and I was like, that's crazy, because I've heard of people getting arthritis and there was just nothing you could do about it. Like, it was just, oh, you got to take some type of like muscle relaxer. There's something that you have to, there's not really much to do, right? It's like, and then along with diabetes, like a lot of people don't give the credit where the credit is due, because this is a diabetic medication. And what it does for the diabetics, when a diabetic tells you that they're going from a 10 A1C back to a 5 before Manjaro, that was not happening. Like, that period, point blank, was not happening unless you had long-acting insulin, short-acting insulin, or insulin pods, or it was just a lot going on, and it was like you had to try this or you had to try this, and poking yourself like 800 times a day, or the CGM. To hear somebody say that I've lost a point, I mean, the praise I give that person versus somebody losing a pound, and I know it's not supposed to be a comparison, but it is in almost a sense, because it was designed for what it was supposed to do. But yes, it does help other people on a whole different level. Like, you can't measure, I mean, you can in a sense, inflammation, but not on the scale of like your inflammation's at like a 10. They just say your inflammation is really, really high, and trizepatide happened to lower it. It's a wonderful drug. I think they said it's like the closest thing to the invention of like penicillin, and that's powerful. That's what it truly is.
My husband had an A1C,
Girl,
of 22.
when I tell you, me and Kim dropped to the floor when we heard that. I have never.
So did his doctor.
Right. I've never in my life heard of somebody with an A1C of 22.
Either had the doctor, and he retested him 3 times.
I didn't even know it can record it that high. That's how high that is. The fact that he is here and with you today, honey.
My husband used to, on the glucometer, it used to go up to 600. It would just say error, unreadable, because once it hits, it doesn't go as high as 600. Once it goes past 599,
yes,
won't read it. And my husband was walking around that way for 3 or 4 years.
that is insane. And I'm so proud that your husband is where he is today. Because in other like situations, it just wouldn't be what it was. Like, to treat the disease of diabetes is no joke. And I think like a lot of people, I guess this topic here is to talk about lifelong obesity, but I always have to give credit to what this medication was designed to do, and it was designed to do for the diabetics. And like I always say, before this medicine, a lot of these things were not possible. A lot of this was not possible. So I
And
am grateful.
and
Hmm.
just to be clear, my husband's not obese. My husband's six
Yeah.
foot 4 inches tall.
Yeah, I've seen your husband. He looks like a normal sized person.
He is, and he doesn't attack food the way I do.
Oh yeah, I know. My husband's a regular sized
He's
guy
not
too. So,
he's not addicted to food the way I am. He doesn't romanticize it the way I do.
and isn't it strange though, like to live with somebody who doesn't have it? You get to see firsthand. This is what it's like. This is what it's like to live your life without this, without the thinking of it, the skewed vision of it, the looking back of like you said, you found out like your mother had disorder eating. Like my entire family was consuming all the time, and I
Mhm.
didn't know what life was on a normal scale. I didn't. I like you said you always wanted to be thin.
Mhm.
I in a sense wanted to be thin, but I felt like I was so far gone that that was never a goal. So I never thought of it. So I'm like, no, I don't think I could get thin. I'm like, I don't think I could ever get there. I don't. It's not in my cards. It's not for my life. This is not in my lifetime. And that is so sad to think about. And like I've tried so many times to get down and then go back up and then get down, go back up. And of course it's yo-yo forever. But like, yeah, now I'm steadily going down. And it's this is the most amount of weight I've ever lost in my life. And that it keeps going down. And that I might be able to sustain this. And that's a whole other thing I have to deal with because I'm like, man, I gotta learn to live life in a size that's normal. But who knows?
Well, and I'm still very. It doesn't make sense to project, but it's hard not to.
Right.
I'm still very nervous that I will never attain my actual weight goal, which I
Right.
don't want to mention the number because that can change as I get closer to
Right.
it. But and then the maintenance, like I said, I've never been the longest I ever maintained my weight was 2 years. Well, this is a lot of money to spend on medication for the rest of my life and not be able to maintain it. And I'm already battling now.
Right.
And, you know, I may very well have to go up to the next level, the next level, like it's a video game.
Right.
10 milligrams. That's what it feels like to me. My husband's a gamer and it feels like a video game. Like you start at level 1, then you go level 2 and you're trying to get past all these obstacles. And then you've reached as far as you're going to go. Now you got to go to the next level.
Yes, that's literally what it feels like.
That's what it feels like to me. And, you know, it's, I'm hopeful. The medication has already done more. I didn't even believe it was going to make me lose weight. And by the way, I didn't even lose a
Period.
pound until 6 weeks in. So that was Wegovy and Zepbound. And then all of a sudden, weight started coming off. And as I saw it, I didn't even believe that it was the Zepbound. I thought, well, I'm being more conscious. That's what it is, and
Right.
it took a while for it to sink
Click.
in
Yep.
that this is actually something's happening.
Yep.
And then it took a while to recognize that 5 milligrams was no longer doing what I felt like I needed it to do for me. And I went to 7.5, and it really doesn't feel to me much different than the end of when I was on 5. Although I'm
Right.
seeing that a lot of what I eat can either make the medication work or
Right.
go or betray it. If
Right.
I'm eating junky foods,
Mhm.
high sugar, high fat, high sodium, the pizza, if you will, and please
Right.
don't get angry if you're eating pizza. I
Right.
love it, and I'll be the first to tell you,
Period.
it's never going to be off the table completely, but
Right.
um, when I stay away, from my experience, when I stay away from those type of foods,
Mhm.
the medication does what it needs
what
to
it
do.
got to do.
It quiets the food noise. It is quieting. I still get hungry,
Right.
but I'm not constantly hungry, and I'm not panicked when I feel hunger. I would go into like an anxiety attack when I felt hunger.
Yeah.
I don't even know why that is, but that's
Yeah.
what would happen. So
And I feel like a lot of us on this journey feel like that. When we feel the hunger come back, when we feel the food noise, we just kind of like, it's like, do we got to go up? Do we get more fiber? Do we get more, protein? Like, what are we supposed to do? Because I don't want to feel this anymore. And with a lot of us that have dealt with extreme hunger for so long, and uncontrollable hunger for so long, food noise so long, Miss Latera, if anybody knows her, she said it the best. She's like, I have ate so much my whole life. I just don't want to eat like that no more. I just don't want to do it no more. Like I've eaten, I know what everything tastes like, and I felt that. I'm like, yeah, I know what things taste like. I know what tacos and burritos and pastas. I know what it tastes like. Like, and I'm just tired of thinking about it all the time. And there's things like in my journey that I'm trying to implement on there where like if I eat a lot of fiber, yes, girl, I'm full. If I eat a lot of protein, sure, I'm full.
yeah.
But how much protein can a person take though? Because I can eat up to 100, 200 grams of protein and still be like, I'm kind of hungry. Or mix it with fiber and it's like, geez. And then sometimes, yeah, that option is to go up in dose. Fine. And then you're at this point where you're like, man, I can't eat. And it feels great. And I'm like, I don't have the anxiety. This is wonderful. But then these other fears come in because you're like, I haven't eaten in forever. Like, what's going on? I need to eat. I'm starting to get shaky. It's a
Yeah.
fine line that, like, we're playing with because we get anxious when we feel hunger. And then when we don't have the hunger, we're also like, oh gosh, this is too much. It's a mind game for real. Miss Nikki says, I think we all have deep emotions tied to our weight. It's something we don't think about when we start our journey. Yep. But the emotions start to show while losing. Personally, I was hiding behind it. And you said it wonderfully. It's happening in the moment of weight loss. And there's a lot of things that people haven't dealt with before starting the meds. And to address that while being on the meds, maybe some people didn't think about addressing that beforehand, or maybe some people have been addressing it. There's something about when that food noise is gone, when you see the progress, that you're like, okay, I feel it, but there's a lot of emotions that are tied to this that I have to either let go or work through it. Yeah. Let me see.
I like the saying from 12-step programs. My husband is a recovering addict, and I consider myself a food addict. I never felt comfortable, and I'm not bad mouthing it. So please, if
Right.
anybody's attending these meetings, that's not my intention. I always felt comfortable at my husband's meetings, NA, Narcotics Anonymous.
Right.
I never felt comfortable. Not that I didn't feel comfortable. I never could relate to OA, which is Overeaters Anonymous.
Okay.
The meetings, in my experience, and I've been to a few different ones at different locations, they're run a little bit different. Circling back to why I'm saying this is there is a saying in the big book, and that is, one is too many, 1,000's not enough. And that's how I feel about food.
Yes.
One is too many,
And
1,000's
1,000's
not enough. It's particularly with romanticizing the go-to foods, the comfort foods.
Yeah.
Like for me, it would be the pizza, the pasta, that kind of thing, dairy.
Yeah.
That is my kryptonite.
We all have.
And it's never. I mean, even on Zepbound, I promise you, I could sit there and eat an entire pizza, and I'm not talking about Domino's little BS
personal.
personal pizza. I'm
Yeah.
talking going to a real pizzeria and getting an 18 or 22 inch. You know, it's very hard not to sit there and have four. Well, it's easy not to sit there because I won't sit there in public and eat 4 slices, but give me a
Right.
chance to bring it home and the whole pie is gone. And I promise you, at least 7 out of the 8 slices were eaten by me. My husband was
That's
lucky
real.
to get one.
It's real. I'm telling you. I used to have people tell me like, "What do you mean you can eat past the medicine?" And I'm like, "I can,
And
every
it's
time."
and it's a trigger food, which I think a lot of us. I can't speak for anybody, but for myself,
Right.
but I have trigger foods, and
Oh yeah.
that's what that saying. One is too many, 1,000 not enough.
Not enough.
One slice of pizza for me is too many because it's already
You already got
teetering
off
on
the train.
throwing me off.
Mm.
And actually giving into it and then eating more and more and more, it's never enough.
Right.
I won't stop, and it doesn't even matter if I'm full.
Oh
As a
yeah.
matter of fact, when I started the GLP-1 medication a year ago, the reason that my doctor brought it up to me was because I was eating to a point where I didn't even remember what I was eating. I didn't even remember how much I was eating, that I was actually vomiting. And I'm not talking about disordered eating, the B one. I mean, I was just unconsciously unaware that I was putting too much and my body just couldn't hold it anymore.
Right.
And that's what was beginning to happen. And that's how bad it was.
Yeah. Like I would always tell people, my stomach was full, but my mind was never full. You couldn't fill my
Yes.
mind. It would never be full because my mind was always like, let's think about the next thing and let's think about the next thing and let's go further than that. But physically, I could not hold it. Like
Yeah.
it was like, girl, you got nothing left in there. Like there's no more room. And it's a weird thing because like you do it very privately. You do it not when everybody's around, and it's like a secret thing. And it's like I always wonder why our trigger foods are they're tied to a certain emotion. They're tied to a certain event, and those are the habits that are very hard to break. And for me, I had to go to therapy to break those habits, to break those bad behaviors and bad automatics that I had with meals all the time.
Mhm.
I had to break that. And yes, Trizepatide and Zepbound helped me be like have the clarity to break it because I wasn't experiencing it.
Yeah, it
But
gives you the space to make those decisions.
exactly, that's exactly what it was. Journey says, I never took graduation photos. I don't even have not one pic, not even in the yearbook. Oh my gosh, honey.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm so sorry, Journey. That is hard.
Yeah, it is. We missed a lot. It's nice to know you're not the only one, but you also
Right.
feel bad for knowing other people went through it too, that you missed so many normal experiences growing up just because of weight.
And it's sadder to know that it wasn't your fault after after really learning that
Yeah.
obesity is a disease and it wasn't your fault. She says, I know right now, Grace, but at the time I hated myself. Yeah. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Oh, your dog is cute.
He's crying. That's why I picked him up. He's
Oh,
distracting me. He's like scraping
mama,
at my leg.
please. See,
That's
Paulus to high school is hard anyway, but dealing
oh.
with bullying is miserable. Yep.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. Delilah said, I didn't go to high school, Journey, so I'd have no yearbook photos either. Yeah, she didn't actually go. I know, Lala. In a way, you're lucky you didn't go. Nicole said, I missed out on so many pictures of my mom before she had passed. I only lived a childhood picture. I only have childhood pictures. I have the same thing. I did not take a lot of pictures with my mom before she passed. And the ones I do have, I literally crop myself out and I can't even put myself back in there. So I know I'm there, but I did that because that's how insecure and that's how what I was the traumas I was dealing with that I literally cut myself out of photos. I understand that.
I did that when my granddaughter was living with us. She took
Mhm.
a picture of me and her, and I I don't know if you know the reference Jabba the Hutt
Oh
from
yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah. I was laying on the bed and I saw the picture and like without even consciously thinking, that was the first thing that came to mind was Jabba the Hutt. And she was so proud to take this picture and I was just devastated and I marked up my picture. She has her
Yeah.
copy, but
You
I
couldn't physically keep
I
yours.
could I couldn't visually look at it. It was horrible. It
Yeah.
it just was so disturbing.
And it is. And like and it's weird to talk about yourself like that, but it is. And it's that like that automatic behavior. Like I couldn't see old photos of myself. I couldn't. And that's why a lot of us don't have a lot of old photos,
Mhm.
or we try not to. And people, they're like, I want to see your progress. I want to see what you look like. And it's like, but I didn't. I didn't want to look in the mirror. I didn't want to look in a reflection. I didn't want to look at anything. Like, I did not want it. And yes, we robbed ourselves from a lot of opportunities. And it's kind of sad because you do think about like the people that took that photo of you, they were like, this is a memory. They're happy. They tied happiness with you. And as soon as you see it, you see like, I'm disturbed. And it's crazy because our loved ones really do see us as like this is just a beautiful moment. And we can't
Yeah.
take it in because of what we've been through. Hello, Dee. How are you, sweetheart? Welcome in. I'm just going through the chat. Oh, hello, Mia. How are you, honey? She said, Felicia and Brenda, just letting you guys know I've been here listening. Brenda, so glad you are sharing about your journey. I told Felicia you've been through some hateful bullying in your lives. Yes, I was telling Brenda, I was like, yeah, no, I was literally talking to Mia. Like, do you think Brenda would go live with me? And she's like, yeah, I don't see why not.
Thanks,
I
Mia.
was like, yeah. Let me see. A grounded way to reframe receiving compliments after weight loss is try hearing, I see your effort. I notice your change. I'm happy for you because most people that actually for because for most people that's actually what they mean.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
And I don't expect anybody to change the way like, if they want to tell me you look good, you look thank you. It's just there's always something in my head that's always gonna rebuttal that. And that's my thing that I have to work through. That I have to deal with. But of course, phrases like this they do help a lot.
Something I always. Oh, I'm
Oh sorry.
sorry.
No, Journey said, Brenda, I'm sorry that all happened to you.
Thank you. Um, Something that I try and say when people on YouTube, particularly content creators, are announcing their weight loss, and they're because they're proud of it, as they should be.
Right.
Um, I I try very hard to refrain from saying, "Oh, congratulations on your weight loss," or "You look so good for that." I try and say things like, "I'm so happy for your improved quality of life and improved health." I try not to say anything weight specific
Right.
because um, a lot of times people they mean they have the best of intentions,
They do. They
but
do.
but it often feels like a backhanded compliment. Oh, you look so good. I can't believe all this way. You look so good now. And it makes you think, well, what the heck did you think of me before? Like, why is this so? Now, obviously, we look better than we did, probably. But it just makes me think, well, what did you think of me before? Why are, why is it so important to you? If you're my friend, it shouldn't have mattered anyway. Or it
Right.
should have mattered in a way where I care about you and I'm worried about you. Not,
Right.
oh, you look so much better than you used to, which that's true.
Right.
And it can be a nice compliment. It I think it depends on who it's coming from and how it's
Right.
presented. And
Right.
I just hate to focus on the weight because the reality is we're more than our fat selves.
And it is. We are more than that. It sucks that like people never saw that beforehand. Like I really wanted people to see me for me when I was in the 300s. And unfortunately, I wasn't going to get anybody to see me until I lost the weight. And it's just like, that's just the world we live in. And it is really unfortunate. And I have to like undo a lot of the negative thoughts I have towards that too. Because there's, you know, being on a journey for this long, you know, as positive and as great as it is, like trying to become healthy for so long, you can kind of resent it in a way. Because you're
Well,
like, man, I've been doing this for so long. Like, I've tried and I've tried and I've tried for in any little way I've tried.
well,
And
it's
go ahead.
no, you go, honey. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
It's my ADHD kicking in. I can't shut up.
No, you're totally fine, sweetheart. I even forgot what I was talking about. But
I'm sorry.
no, don't be. Yeah, no, it's just it's the resentment part of it. I can sometimes resent people. I can resent comments, and like it's those are the things I don't like to say out loud. But being with somebody like here, like with you, yeah, I could say it for some odd reason because I'm like, Brenda is real and she understands it. That's what it is.
Well, I was just gonna say that I think what what a lot of us don't realize, or I should say this is my opinion because I'm not a professional anything, so I have no right to say, and I'm only one person. I don't know everybody in the world, so I can't speak for everybody.
Right.
But I think, based on my experience and my opinion, when we're losing weight and coming into a new body, we don't realize that we're now grieving over our old life.
Period. And
Because there's like 7 stages of grief, and one of them is anger and sadness. And I'm not going to go through all 7, but I think it's a form of grief because we're trying to live in the new body, but it's hard to let go of the old life that we lived. And you're walking, as Darian says, the messy middle.
yeah,
That's the line that a lot of us are walking. And even when you're in maintenance, there's a level of grief. I think for me, there's grief about I no longer sit on the couch and just mindlessly eat where I don't have to think, I don't care, I don't worry, because now I care. Now I worry. There's the grief of, my favorite foods. There's the grief of just, I like how I look now, or I like the way I look better than I did, but I still feel the same as I did in my old body.
period.
The grief of when people, notice you, but they didn't notice you before.
Period.
The grief of the kind strangers, like you said, that'll hold the door open or say hello or give you that second look, but they didn't before when you were 100 pounds more or 50 pounds more or even 10 pounds more. Everybody's different, but
Right.
there's grief, there's anger of, oh, how come I wasn't good enough before? I'm the same person I was before as I am now. I'm just in a different package.
Right. Oh my God, Brenda. Right.
I just think that we don't realize that we're going through, in my opinion, I think we're going through a form of grief when we're on this weight loss journey.
And it's funny because like when I did my interview with Lori, I said when I hit Wonderland, I wanted to have a funeral for my 200-pound self. And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "It's true because I have to lay her down to rest. She has kept me comfortable. She has kept me safe. She has kept me here for so long, the 200 pounds. I don't know what life is like without the 200s, without that 2 in front. I don't remember the 1 in front.
You are experiencing a loss.
Yeah, and that's the loss. And I was like,
not just physical, but emotional, mental
loss.
Spiritually.
Yes.
In every way, you're going through grief. There's resentment, there's anger, there's sadness, there's loss.
Oh, yeah.
It's all there.
Okay, so my chat like skipped a bunch. So I'm sorry because it was going and going, but like my chat skipped a lot and it won't let me go back up. So
do you want me to see if I?
Yeah,
I don't know how far you want me to go.
Do you see any like questions? If there's a question, you could just say it out loud, because this is where I'm at right now. It says, "It's my pleasure, Mia. We're all in this together." That's where it says the first comment is. I can't get above that comment.
Uh,
So if you just see any like questions or anything, then we can
I
answer them.
I saw one question a while ago when I mentioned video games. Somebody asked me, what would you name that video game?
Oh, what? Who
It
knew?
took all self-control not to say hungry, hungry hippos or pack me.
Right. Yes, it would be the Hungry Hungry Felicia for sure, and that's on everything.
I don't really see any questions, to be honest.
Okay, and that's
I
fine.
guess put a Q in front if you have any questions.
Yeah, because
Put a
I'm gonna
Q
start
or a
right
couple of
here.
Q's in front.
Right, I'm gonna start right here, and if I missed anybody, I'm very, very sorry, because my chat will not let me go above that. Okay. Mia says, definitely, I know you were struggling to breathe, so I do get concerned for Paul. Yes, Paul had bad sleep obstructive apnea. Yes, we do worry for Paul. And hello, Paul. Thank you for coming in. And we got Candy K all day, Henny. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? I agree, Grace, about retraining the mind to think differently, saying, doing things to heal the mind. Absolutely. And I'm sorry I missed that comment from Grace. Let's see. Nicole, glad you're feeling better, Paul. Hope you continue. Oh, yeah. I heard Paul was sick, and I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I do hope you feel better. My
Oh, I
God.
feel better, Paul. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. You're going through that.
Yeah. Continue to pray for you, Paul. Yes. Paul says thank you, Paula and Nikki. Mia says, it took some hard, long looks at what I'm doing, how I'm coping, and things haven't been the same since I stopped smoking. I feel like God is dealing with me and how I cope with life. Yes. And then Kim says, Mia, you found that comfort in your messy middle. I'm in a plateau also, but I'm learning it's a part of the process, and keeping the serenity prayer in Philippians 4 in forefront of my mind. Yes, honey. Absolutely. Paula says, smoking is a hard habit to break, Mia, and I'm praying with you about this as well. Yes. We
Yeah.
will pray with you, Mia, because we only want the best for you, Mia. Brenda, she says, Mia says Brenda is raw. If you can't take hearing real life, she's not a good fit, because she's not about like shoots and rainbows sparkling out of her booty to make it all happy all the time in her videos. Yes, it is.
But if you
She
feel like being depressed, come see me.
period. Okay, all the sad girlies out there, all the sad gentlemen out there. Oh, okay. Get on to Brenda's live. Brenda's videos, not the live, my bad. Onto her videos. I'm just telling you, if you have dealt with obesity in any form, in an emotional side, she can reiterate it so much better than I can.
I don't think that's true. You're very articulate.
Oh, thank
You
you.
don't give yourself enough credit,
Yeah, I don't. Thank you.
which none of us probably do.
Yeah. And that's on everything. She's F&B, brand new woman. Oh, that's a moment, Felicia. Oh my gosh, thank you. Mia, yes, Mia, she kept it 100% real, and I appreciate that. Yes.
Thank
Paul
you.
says the serenity prayer is good, Kim J, in Philippians 4. Yes. She says, oh, pray with Mia is definitely real and can be very difficult. We need God's help, community help, sometimes professional help, and it all takes time. Long suffering, but God. Oh, but God. Okay. She said, thank you, everybody. I'm catching up in chat. Me too, Nikki. Me too, honey. Mia says, Kim J. Philippians 29:11. For I know the plans he has for me. I believe that he has been my verse the whole time, and I've been on my sobriety journey. Oh my God. She said, yes, Mia. Yes. Praying that everything is better for you. Yes, absolutely. We should pray and watch over. Always pray and believe. Never faint. Never faint each other and one another. Yes. Let's see. Mia says, I sit and pray for people in the chat of this weather channel. I watch because tornadoes and storms and stuff. I pray for you ladies, especially if I know which part of the country you're in. Yes, if you're experiencing terrible weather, we will pray for you because it is scary out there. We got Mr. Darium. Hello, sir. How are you, honey? He
Hi
said,
there.
"Good evening, Phoebe and Bryn Mawr." Yes, that's Bryn Mawr, honey.
Mhm.
That is amazing. Okay, thankful that we are now requesting for / looking for healing, mind, body, and spirit and soul, the full body. If Kim is not going to say anything, she is going to say God, honey, and I love her for that.
Mhm.
The spiritual journey behind this is everything, and that's what helped a lot of certain people get through it. Even like if you, whatever you do choose to believe in,
Mhm.
if you believe in something more than yourself, it really does help along with this, because I mean, being human can only take you so far. Having the human experience can only take you so far. And even depending on other people can only take you so far. When you have that higher being of love, even if you just believe in love by itself, that's everything. And that is what I strive to push out, is love.
And you do it well.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. And so do you. She goes, yes, I was on metformin before Manjaro, and my A1C was not going down but up. That's terrifying. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, sweetheart.
Mhm.
Let's see. Paula says, I appreciate you, Mia. You're a wonderful lady. Oh, my
Yes,
God.
she is.
Yes, she is. I really try hard to be a good person because I don't like the old Mia. And then there's that. There's who we were before we were here. I always say we've been on a lot of journeys before we've been on this particular journey.
Mhm.
And those are the journeys that I just want to see. I want to see those journeys. What did you go through before you got here? I want to know who you are in your entirety. That's what I love about Brenda. She really puts it out there. She goes, "What do you want to know about me, honey? Because I could tell you, and I could tell you in detail, and I could tell you what it really was, honey." That's what I appreciate. I seen her diaries, and I was just playing through them, and it felt like I lived your life in a different timeline. Like we weren't on the same timeline, but I lived it right next to you. Like
Mhm.
it was so much that I could relate to. And I'm glad that you decided to share your diaries and your digital diary, because it has helped. I mean, at least it helped me, and like I'm happy that I'm not alone. So if you
Well,
ever do feel it, yeah,
well, I appreciate that, and that was the point, was so that nobody had to feel alone if they didn't want to, because I felt alone watching everybody's success. I felt like I was the only one who was not having the same success. And not that I wasn't able to lose weight, but that nobody else seemed to be having setbacks at the time that I
right,
started making these videos. I think some people are starting to be a little bit more, go more into that area now.
yeah,
But
I see it.
that was my purpose, was, I felt like, am I the only one who's still struggling and having setbacks and going through some of the same old stuff I did before the meds,
Right,
and everybody else is just coasting on by and doing great, or and not even GLP-1s, just,
in life,
I hear everybody say, not everybody, but I heard a lot of people say, oh, when I make a commitment and set my mind to it, there's no stopping me, I just do it. Well, I make commitments and I set my mind to lose weight, and I gotta stumble and fall 100 times along the way, if not more. I'm still committed and I still have the motivation to get there, but I'm struggling, man, and I'm tripping over myself on a regular basis. Am I the only one who goes through this, who can't just go straight without any obstacles when I set my mind to lose weight? Because that's how I felt. Everybody else was winning and I was basically just kind of stumbling along and very, just not able to do it like they were, and I
and
felt a
I always felt like this, and this is me being real. This is me being 100% real. Okay, I always felt like when people were stalled, plateaued, or they were a slow responder, I felt like people would watch those videos not for helpful tips and not for compassion, but to be like, thank God I'm not there. I really do feel like some people were watching those videos for that.
and there
And
might be.
like, oh my gosh, thank God I'm not there. Like, oh, you're struggling. But like, I've lost 80 pounds. And it's like, girl, what are we doing? Like, you will see the comments underneath these people that are like, I am struggling. Like, please, I'm just trying to get these pounds off of me. And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. By the way, I've lost all this weight. And it's like, oh my gosh. It's strange. It is strange. And there's a big reason like why I didn't share my journey, because I wasn't ready to share my journey. I didn't think Zepbound or anything was gonna really work for me. So I was like, I'm not gonna document myself and I don't really know what I'm doing or even if I'm doing this right, and then I'm gonna have all this influence around me. And it was just like an intimate moment. Like I just wanted to hone in on myself and just kind of keep this to myself. And then when I started to lose the weight, it was working. I was like, cool. I'm gonna hopefully get down to like the 20% that Eli Lilly says I could do. Hopefully, hopefully I can get there. Then I went beyond that, and then there's a weird thing I went through where I started feeling bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm losing this weight, and people are struggling now, and everybody's struggling now. And I hopped on the scale and I lost 5 pounds. I go to this other person, and they're like, I'm struggling, and then I'm like, oh my god, I lost 7 pounds. Like I didn't want to be that person to where people would look at me and be like, God, girl, you just keep going down. Like, what is this? And it's weird that I have to feel bad about losing weight too. It's weird. This weight loss journey really has brought me in different things. And I guess me and Brenda are polar opposites in that, because she has tripped and stumbled upon herself over and over again. I just felt like I've done that up here a lot.
Well, you have to remember that I'm 54 now. I don't know how old you are, but I know you're a lot younger than I am. And it took a long time for me to get here. And I want to be very clear that I am forcing myself when I make these videos to be honest
Mm-hmm.
and be transparent. It's frightening, it's hard, and most of all, it's humiliating. It is so humiliating and humbling at the same time. And I'm doing it in a way to hold myself accountable. But again, my first purpose is to see, well, I don't want to look back at my stuff and see where I was and, oh, I was just skating through, because I know that's not true.
Period.
And so I don't want to just point out the highlights. That's what I do on Facebook. That's what Facebook is for, and Instagram. But I want to remember, what was it? What was it when I was there, and what did I do to get out of it?
Yes.
Or how did I feel when I was there? Just something to look back on in the journey. And the other thing is, again, I didn't want anybody else to feel like I felt very alone, like I'm the only one who's struggling all the time, and everybody else seems to just have wins. And how can I help someone else to not feel alone if I'm not being absolutely honest about
Period.
what I'm going through? And you may not be going through any of the stuff that I'm going through, but maybe you're just having a really hard time and you're feeling like you're the only one struggling. You're not. You're not, and it doesn't matter if you're on a GLP-1 or not. There's one thing that irritates me more than anything with the attitude towards GLP-1s, is that it's easy.
Oh, period. I am so far past that. Of people, when they think it's easy, oh my gosh, you're like,
yeah,
okay.
it takes. Yeah,
it's like it was easy being fat then. Like, no, like you had to work your way up to get to that weight too. And it's just as hard as working yourself down to get to that weight. And it's the emotional and mental game that you have to really deal with afterwards. There's some people out there that can get to goal and be so happy and be like, I did it. I love myself. And God bless those people. I'm not one of those people. I don't think I'm going to be one of those people. And I think there's a lot of people who feel like that and don't say it. And that's why I love having these conversations, so that people can feel it. People can say it out loud and be like, yes, I may be where I am, but I'm not happy. And it's okay. It's okay even when it's not okay.
I
But,
can.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No.
No, I was gonna say, Kim J said, Brenda, God has covered your husband for sure. Glory be to God. Yes.
Thank you, Kim. Yes.
And even Paula said that's so wonderful. That's wonderful about your husband, Brenda. God is good.
Thank you,
He
Paula.
is good, honey. And you fellas too, I appreciate Mr. Darian for helping stay positive and dial myself back a little bit when I tend to kind of overshare stuff. Oh, I appreciate he's not harsh and just helpful. Shout out
Darian is a
to
really good
Darian.
supporter. He's
Oh yes,
he's really
he's
something.
incredible. So he is, isn't he, Brenda? What a mighty God we serve. We must stop and praise him for who he is. He is worthy to be praised. Yes, sweetheart.
Yes.
And Mr. Paul trying to remind everybody to be kind and come correct to each other in these streets. Yes, that's really sweet.
Yep. Paul is also. I like him. I've come to like him a lot.
And
His
she
content.
said, Paula said, gosh, what a great analogy, Brenda. If our journey was a video game, what would it be called? Oh, that's what that question was. Okay. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to catch up. Yes, I did. Okay. As long as I was on 15 milligrams, it felt good to go down to 12.5 and not be maxed out with nowhere to go because my insurance will not cover more than 1 month on 12.5. Different from when I was forced to go up by my insurance. Oh, okay. See that, honey, I can see that.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's fine. Miss Nikki says, does anyone utilize ChatGPT to analyze their behaviors? Yes. I just discovered yesterday that if I don't have the flavor profile that I want, I continue to eat until I eat. Wow. That is something I never really realized that I did. If things aren't spicy enough, I'll keep adding to it until it is what I want it to be. And by then I've kind of ate a little more than I was supposed to.
It's kind
Wow.
of the cravings.
Yeah, it's that craving, like you want that hit, that like
Mhm.
I want to feel good.
And a lot of times we think we want that food, and our bodies are actually missing some nutrients, and we're going to the wrong foods, and we keep going for them, and then
Yeah.
eventually, I don't know about anybody else, eventually, and it takes a while, but eventually it's like I actually want a vegetable. I want something healthy now because
Yeah.
I've gotten so tired, and like your body knows what it wants. It's your brain that needs to catch up.
Period. She said, Paula, I know what the naysayers would call the game easy mode. Yeah, that's what the other people would call it. Yes.
Yep.
She said, Paula said, Brenda, have you ever had or been tested for celiac disease?
No.
She says, no, sweetheart. Oh, hello, sweetheart. How are you, Miss Ready? That's right, Felicia. I know what everything tastes like. Yes, I already know what food tastes like. You know, and when I do my video on my update about like being on Wellbutrin and being on Zepatide,
Mm-hmm.
I will get into that for sure because things have changed, honey. Okay, Paula says, Grace, no, we would not call it that, like fighting or or like fighting the food monster. Yes,
That's good.
yes. Grant says, I just realized this is the same Brenda who has had so much great input in our autism lives. Yes, this is Brenda. Appreciate you so much for that and what you said tonight, Brenda.
Thank you, Grace.
Yes. When I tell you, because me and Grant are always looking for people to come on the Autism Live, and Paula was our last person. And it'd be incredible if you were, because your knowledge on autism, honey, it is everything. You know, I would say, I can't say you know everything about it,
I
but you know,
don't. I absolutely do not.
okay,
I'm here to
you
tell you, I do not.
quite a bit, honey. Look, at Paula says, yes, Brenda is a wealth of knowledge for disabilities. Grant, I appreciate her wisdom as well.
Thank you, Paula.
Okay.
You guys know how to make a girl feel good.
Period. She said,
That's an old
Paula, the
girl,
quieting. Yes.
I'm an old woman, middle age anyway.
She said, Brenda, I'm a person who has been in NA for years. It was hard to face everyone to discuss using. Yes. Yes, that is Miss Mia, honey.
My husband's a recovering heroin addict.
Ah, so is Mia. You guys can see it's
That
like
is
the
a big.
relate.
That is a big accomplishment and another journey that never ends. It's something that you always have to deal with and always have to work at.
And that's
And
what I'm talking about. It's the
And that,
journey before we've been on this one.
and
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that's why I fully, that when people say there's no such thing as food addiction, yes, there is, because I went to the actual therapies. Once a week would be family night with my husband,
Yeah.
and they would be 3.5 hours, and I never missed one. And I went with my husband for family night, and we were literally shown a documentary showing the pictures of the brains on with food addiction and the pictures of the brain with heroin addiction, and the areas of the brain that were being hit, and how large a space. And actually, the brain, believe it or not, with the food addiction had a larger space showing the addiction than the heroin
And
addict
it's
that brain
insane.
had.
It's
So it
insane.
absolutely is a real thing. And you you know, there's just so many different, I, I don't want to say comorbidities, but there's just so many different ways of having disordered eating. There's
There is.
so many different causes for obesity. It might just be menopause. It might just be andropause. It might just be, you're allergic to something and you don't know, or it could be something much deeper. Not that one is
Worse
more
than the other.
important than the other. They all matter. But it's just such a there's just so many causes for weight gain.
And there is. And
Obesity.
it's, yeah, like I said, it's the one thing that you could see. And especially when it comes to the, like, overly consuming to where, like, that's all you think about portion, because it really is like food addiction is like the one thing that you have to consume food every day. You have
Yeah.
to. It's the one
Yes.
thing you have to face every single day. And
Right.
to try to work against those dopamine hits that you get, it is tough.
Yeah.
To fight against that. GLP-1 or not, it's tough. And people are like, how do you still have cravings? Like, you should go up in dose. And it's like, no, I'm full. I've always been full though. My stomach has
Right.
always been full.
Yeah.
It's up here.
Yeah, it's the
Yes, it
disconnect
dialed it down. It's that disconnect. Yes, it's like
between the
something.
brain and the stomach.
Yeah, something that I have. It's like it's haywire. It just keeps going and hitting and hitting and hitting. And then there's another portion that's just like you're craving, you're craving, you're craving. It's hard to have to fix that. And as much as there's people out there that have lost a lot of weight naturally, and they've kept it off. Great for them. And it's wonderful. And I feel bad in a sense because you had a white knuckle it, honey, this whole time. I'm sorry for that. Like, yes, we have the help, but I wish the help for everybody. I do, and it's the accessibility to the meds and all of that. I want everybody to have that clarity at least one time in their life, please. Alana, oh, hello everybody. Hello everybody. This is Alana. I can't say it. She said, "Hey everyone listening from the car. Hope that everyone is good." Yes, thank you so much for joining us, sweetheart, and listening to us in your car. Oh, Journey left for a minute back. Yes, I could say eat past my meds too. Yep, I gotta stop myself, especially if it's a carb like pizza. And that's on period. Miss Nikki says yes, you can definitely out eat the medicine. I think some of us, I think some people don't know that. Absolutely, it is. It's tough, but like for some people that are really suppressed, yeah, they probably can't. But for a lot of us, we definitely can. It takes forms of recovery to help, I believe, because some of my addiction treatment has helped with my disordered eating. Icing can be a major trigger for me. Yeah, like sugar, I noticed. Sugar-free helps me not do, and it's that, sweetheart, and it's that.
That's why I was saying I always related more to the Narcotics Anonymous than I did Overeaters Anonymous, because Overeaters Anonymous, in my experience, my perspective, they are addressing a lot, but the experiences that I was relating to were the drug addicts, because my own husband said to me one night, because I was like out of control with the food. He
Mhm.
said to me, if I didn't see it, I would not believe it. You are no different than I was when I was using.
And that's heavy, honey. And it's the truth, though. It is the real, honest truth.
Hmm.
And coming from somebody who has
Yeah,
experience, who
he's a
is
heroin addict.
exactly, like to hear that from them, it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it really is what it is. I am truly addicted to this.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is a lot of people that will rebuttal you for it a lot, like over and over. But like I said, they haven't really explored the 5 different types of obesity. They haven't.
Right.
They haven't gone to extensive research. So a lot of people are kind of ignorant to what it is right now because we don't know, or they're trying to figure out how to, get it through and be like, oh, this is truly what it is. This is what it is, and this is what it is. So we're waiting for stuff like that, but we know what it is.
Well, think about it. The GLP-1s, they're saying a lot of people have stopped. A lot of people that were drinking every day have
Yeah,
don't want
that's
alcohol
crazy.
anymore. Well, comes
Yeah,
from it's the same part of the brain. It's all the same part of the brain.
exactly.
Part of the drug addicts, the alcoholics, food addiction. It all hits the same part of the brain.
It's a dopamine hit. It really is. It's that serotonin raising. It's
And
all of it.
and if the
Um,
GLP-1 helps you with one thing, it makes sense that it would help you with other kinds of addiction.
the multitude of different ones.
I will say that I found myself for a short period of time, which thank goodness it was a short period of time. It's like I traded the food addiction for shopping, which I've never even liked
It's
shopping.
called transfer addiction, and a lot of us experience
I
it.
I did for a good 3 months, and I was like, "What is going on? Like, I don't even like shopping. What is happening?"
Yeah,
And I had that. I went through. All of a sudden, I was into makeup. I've become a makeup whore.
yeah,
I have enough makeup
yeah.
now stored that I can open up my own store. Don't even use half of it, but I've got it. It's
I went to skincare. I got very obsessed with skincare. I had every product for skincare, and then it was like, okay, that's not giving me the hit no more. And then let me find something new, and
yeah,
then let me
my
find something.
nails.
Yep, it's like maybe I want to do makeup. Maybe I want to do hair. Like it's like anything that kind of helps you feel better.
Hmm.
Some people even turn to like gambling and stuff. Like it's just you need that. Is
Yes,
being like an addictive person, and that yeah, a lot of us don't talk about it.
which makes me
Journey says it all started when everyone knows obesity is a disease and we can't help ourselves without the help. Absolutely. Miss Nikki said, I truly do not know the real feeling or, or satiety before starting Wegovy. It was odd feeling that I didn't need to keep eating just to clean my plate. Yes. It is a very strange it's very strange to go through, to experience. Gotcha, Nikki. Yes, the days of making a happy plate. Yes, like the clean plate club. I think that's what it
hmm
was. Let's see. Yes, I really enjoy Brenda because I relate to the eating as she speaks about the deep sorrow I felt like losing a best friend. Yep, when my food didn't hit the same anymore. Absolutely.
Sorry.
Grant says so true, Brenda. Health is so much more than the scale number. Yes. Ooh, I'm far behind in the chat. My bad. Nikki. Kim says Nikki, gotta be liberating to know that you have to clean your a plate, happy plate. You can now stop, and when you're satisfied, or that you have the option. Yes, honey. Paula says, yes, I do think about that, Brenda. I want people to know I love them no matter what they look like. That is such a good frame for this conversation. Oh, yay. Ms. Nikki says, Kim J, thanks to chat. I learned yesterday that if I build my food to hit the complex flavors I want, I actually eat less. Yes. We have Darian that says, unfortunately, people who are living in a larger body have to wear their transformation on the outside versus doing the internal work. Yes. That is very wonderfully said. Yes. Mia says, yes, I did. Yes, what did you think of me before is a good question, but I know what they thought. You're a big girl, just like You just like you said to me and called me ham hot, yeah, because of my size. Oh yeah. It's just getting called all of it, honey. You're just like, oh, thank you. So true, Darium. If people could see what we have had to do internally, they would be amazed. Absolutely, honey. Absolutely. And that's good to look at Nikki in a mindful moment. Yes, absolutely. I'm so sorry, man. That's horrible. The names, the shames, and blame and calling. Yes. And I'm sorry that you did do that. You did have to go through that. Alonda agrees with you. She says stages of grief. Yes. Grace is the outside shows it, but the inside is what builds it. And
That's
even
very well said.
Miss Paula says, "How have you handled the stages of grief, Brenda slash Felicia?" Do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
I've handled it by really like tapping into that uncomfortable. Like if I was gonna be angry, I'm gonna be fully angry. I'm gonna. She said it's hot in here.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. My husband walked in. I'm like, please turn up the thermostat.
She said I'm
Sorry.
burning, honey. Okay, you're fine. You're totally fine. But yeah, no. If I was gonna be sad, I was gonna be fully sad, and I was gonna deal with the emotion and then get over it. If I was angry, I was gonna be fully angry. Fully angry, get over it. If I was gonna bargain, I was gonna bargain my heart out and get over it. It's like I would feel all these emotions fully, so that if I felt it again, it couldn't be as worse as when I felt it in that moment. If that makes sense. Like if I had that one true anger, I'm gonna scream about it and then go on to the next stage. Of course, we all go back and forth through those stages, or some people are at the acceptance stage. I'm not at the acceptance stage yet, but when it comes up, I just allow it to be there. I live in it.
That's
What about
right.
you, Brenda?
I don't think I've fared as well as you.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's a lot of when I have my quote unquote off the rails moments or days, or you know, I just get tired mentally and emotionally of fighting, and I
Exactly.
just give in
It's an exhaustion.
and
It is.
think I'll get it out of my system, and that's that same I'll start Monday. That's really what's happening is I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start Monday, or I'll start back tomorrow, or start back Monday, because I just get tired. I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted of there are some times where I'm just exhausted thinking about my weight.
Yeah.
I'm tired of having to eat healthy. I'm tired of having to stay away from trigger foods. I'm tired of having to weigh myself or worry about this, what the scale's going to say. I get tired, and 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 I get frustrated and I get sad, and then I go for the pizza and or
It's a cycle.
whatever other crap I decide to go for. And then there's other times where I'm very level-headed and reasonable, and I can go through it, and I accept the moment. Okay, this is what you're going through. What can you do either to divert your attention to something else or to get through it without hurting yourself?
Right.
Um,
It's those behaviors that you have to replace because you're replacing a bad behavior with a
mhm.
good one. And if
Right.
it
And
sticks long enough, yeah, it'll be an automatic behavior, and that's what we all want. But
yeah,
like you said, there's people that don't talk about the exhaustion of it. If you've been obese forever, it's exhausting, and you're
it
just like,
is,
gosh, I just want to have what I want to have.
because
And
it never stops. It's never going to stop. I
yeah,
I don't know about for everybody, and I don't want to say that for you.
true.
I don't believe, or I thoroughly believe, it will never stop being something that I'm going to have to consciously deal with for the rest of my life. I 100% believe that. I don't think it's any different than somebody who's a drug addict in recovery or an alcoholic in recovery. You are not going to be, going to sit in a bar is probably not a good idea. It might get
Right.
easier as time has passed, but it's probably not a good idea to make it a habit. It's, it's probably not a good idea to go back to heroin anytime soon.
Yes, it is reality of
It's
it. Like,
something that you're always, it may get a lot easier. Maybe you don't miss it as much. You don't think about it as
right.
much. The noise quiets, it gets to a much lower tolerable volume, but there's always going to be those potential triggers. There's always going
That's
to be
like,
something that you have to deal with as you go along in life.
and that's like the acceptance phase, right? Of like, I accept the fact that this is what it's going to be for the rest of my
Right.
life,
Right.
but I can't build something better around it. And that's where the healing starts. The
Yeah.
healing is accepting the fact that you don't have to fight against this. This is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
With the medicine, without the medicine, this is me. Yes, can I completely try to alter my mind and do a 180? That's incredible if you do it, you know what I mean? But I've accepted a lot of things of myself that maybe a lot of people would be like, why would you accept that? But it's like, I accept the fact that, yes, there is going to be a level of irrational food noise for me. It's always going to be there. I mean, on the highest milligram or not, it is. But it's those, the learning to stay away from your triggers, not having it in your house, or not being around it. Or there's times where well, you know what? I'm tired. Let me just have it. I'm just gonna have just one, and that's it. I don't have to count it. I don't have to weigh it. This is it. And that's the exhaustion that
And there,
people
and
don't deal with.
and there's going to be times where you're more vulnerable than others. There's going to be times where you
Yes,
can be around those triggers and they're not triggering you.
exactly, and that's
And
what you want.
and then there's going to be the times where you kind of know this is not a good idea.
Right. Yeah, like what Grace is saying, we're grieving what food used to give us.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Shawnee said, in the bushes, driving but listening. Great discussion. Thank you, sweetheart. Kim says, my prayers are that the community want to do the mental work, the spiritual work alongside of the work that reduce weight. And we may need the work on all three. Yes, absolutely, honey. Definitely, Kim J. Need all three. Yes. She said, hey, Paul, sorry I didn't see your name. Aw. Let me see. I enjoy Brenda Morrow's content. She gives me a point of view that really makes me reflect. Yes. I always enjoy how she doesn't feel the need to filter for others' comfort. Yes. I'm telling you, most people can word it better than I can. That's what I love about Brenda. That's
Thank you.
it right there. The no
That's-
filter, the no need to be like, I'm gonna make you feel comfortable. No, girl, this is what it is. Okay. Take it or leave it, sweetheart. Kim
Thank
J says, FMB, what would you tell me if I started overthinking or on the what ifs? I asked this when you spoke about your clothing. Oh, girl, you asked me a while ago. I forgot, sweetheart. I'm sorry. But let's see. What would you tell me if I started overthinking on the what ifs? Oh, what would I tell you? To not worry about it. I think that's like where I think I would say. I mean, you could overthink it all you want, but don't worry too much about it. Life's just gonna keep going, and it's that accepting phase. I'm sorry, I don't know the other part. Thank God for healing and the work that I've done internally. Yes, Shawnee has done a lot of internal work, sweetheart. Yes, amen, Kim J. I can't do this internal work without God. Yes. True again, Darian, about Brenda. Kim J, I would tell you God has you. Worry isn't from God. Yes. Oh, there you go. Yeah, worry isn't from God. That's beautiful. Feel better, Paul. Can't wait for you to get back on track. Yes. Okay, I'm trying to get to the chat. Hello to all folks to whom I did not say hello to. Yes. I see people losing and hitting goals. I lost 160 and now I gained a lot right back. And then there's that. There's the people who have lost and then have gone up. And then like the criticism you get from that. Yeah. It's that stumbling and picking yourself back up over and over again. Absolutely. Not being mobile. Yes. Yes. Good for everybody who has lost, but losing over 200 is a different journey than a smaller amount. That's the last live I did. It was like, there's a huge difference between having to lose under 100 and over 100. It's a very bigger journey when you have a lot,
Certainly.
almost 200 to lose.
there's definitely differences, and it's definitely a longer one. But I think if anybody feels like, even 10 pounds really bothers them and they can't get it off, like say somebody in menopause who just suddenly has gained this weight and they're feeling depressed and feeling bad about themselves,
Right.
it is a different journey for sure. And everybody, even who does have 100 pounds or more, has a different journey from each other. But suffering is suffering.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Brenda.
And
That
I just think that I agree with Mia. I'm not disagreeing,
of
but
course.
I think we have to not be, I think we have to be inclusive of everybody, because we don't know what people, there are beautiful models that have really, they don't see in the mirror what everybody else is seeing.
And
And,
that is
you
true.
know, so everybody's journey is different for sure. But I don't think it should necessarily. And yes, the more weight you have to lose, there are different problems that go along with that for sure. So they are different, but I think we have to be. Um, I just don't want to make anybody who has less than 100 pounds to lose feel like their journey doesn't count or
That
doesn't
is
matter, or that it's not as valid as somebody who has more. Or I don't want anybody to feel less than.
yes. And I guess and that is a beautiful way to put it because I've had this conversation so many times with certain people and they're like, "Well, my weight loss isn't as less as yours." And I was like, "You know what? It isn't a comparison. It isn't." In a lot of sense, I'm embarrassed that I had more than 100 pounds to lose. But then again, there's people who have been obese for a long time and they just can't get down that 20. They're just like, they're fighting for their lives to get down to 10, 20 pounds. Doesn't mean that their journey is any less than mine. Our struggle or our suffering is any less than theirs. That is beautiful. Thank you for putting it into that. That really opens up a lot of eyes.
But I want to make it clear too that I'm not disagreeing with Mia or saying that she's wrong in any way. It
Right,
is a
right.
different
No.
journey, but I just don't want anybody, if anybody's watching and they have less than 100 pounds,
Right.
I don't want them to feel like
That's,
theirs is not as valuable or important.
yes, of course not. Of
Suffering
course
is
not.
suffering. We
It
don't know
is.
what the other one is going through.
And that is the reason why I really don't talk about my weight loss because I don't want people to compare. I don't want people to feel like they're less than me. And that's a big thing I never wanted to say out loud. I don't want people to
Right.
feel less than me because yes, I've lost a ton of weight, but I've had a lot of weight to lose, and I struggle with a lot of things. Even though you don't see it, I don't show it. Of course, as nobody gets to these high weights without having something not okay in here. I don't
Right.
care who you are.
Right.
You do not get up to 300s, 400s, 500s without something not
Right.
being okay here.
And,
Unless it is those exceptions of, yes, you might be on a medication that's doing this, you might have a comorbidity that is doing this. I understand that. Yes,
right.
that is the exception. But if it's just you just got up to that weight, it's up here, honey. She said, "True me, I gained a lot. I gained and lost more times than I can count. But those of you who have lost over 200, it is a whole different journey in a very long time. My cousin was 400 and now she's 160. Congratulations to your cousin. The journey was hard and she pushed everyone, and she pushed every day and gave up all her thought GLC. That's incredible, honey. Yes, congratulations." Kim says, "Me neither, Journey. I'm excited, proud of myself. Even after regaining some weight, I'm not where I want or ought to be. I'm still glad I'm not where I used to be yet. It's prayer for those who don't." Absolutely. Yes, Kim J. I've worked very hard to lose 80 pounds, and it's taken longer than most, but I'm very grateful and proud of myself for slugging it out, as you should be. As you should be. Journey
Mhm.
says, "Nothing is easy about this journey. I still had to work my butt off to get this weight off of me. The only part that was easy is that this time I know uh, it's going to stay off and I don't have to struggle." Absolutely. Kim asks a question. For those who don't feel excited about their journey successes, when uh when they should be proud, what's encouraging words can we offer them? Be proud, honey. I mean, I know I'm not the most proud person. So when people just tell me, girl, just be proud of yourself. Just do it. Like, give into that feeling of you did this. You really did. It's like that constant reassurance. I always need constant reassurance to believe I'm doing something. Like, okay, I did do it. And even then I still don't give myself credit. So what do you say, Ms. Brenda?
Um, I don't I don't get excited, but that doesn't mean that I'm not proud of myself.
Period.
So I don't necessarily see the two as being the same for
Right.
me. For me, I'm not
Yeah,
talking, I'm
no.
not saying that Kim is wrong, and I'm not saying for anybody else. For me, I see them as two separate things because I have lost over 100 pounds 4 other times in my life. I have lost 20 here, 50 there, multiple times in my life, 5 decades of counting, and probably have lost over 1,000 pounds and gained it 1,000 pounds over the course of my life. When I hit a number or hit a goal and I'm not jumping for joy, am I proud? Yes, I'm proud of the work that I'm doing. I'm proud of where I've come, how far I've come, or where I'm at the moment.
Period.
But I'm not necessarily excited. And I'm not excited because been there, done that.
Right.
I'm not ready to celebrate yet because I've been here before and I'm not confident in being here because I've been here so many times and I've bounced back in a negative way with the weight gain. So it's not that I'm not proud that I've lost weight. It's that I've been here before, so I'm not excited about it. I am happy that I have gotten here. I'm happy that the medication is helping. I'm happy that I'm making the changes that I'm making. But I'm not excited about it at the moment because it just doesn't excite me anymore. You know what excites me? I was excited when I could sleep through the night without waking up from excruciating pain because my thumb was literally, I had no idea the hands had that much power that you could have that much pain that I would wake up crying.
Yeah.
That excites me. It
Yeah. That's real.
excites me that I can fit in the regular booth of a bathroom and don't have to go into the handicap bathroom to wipe myself. And I'm sorry if that's a little too much information.
No, it's real.
Guess what? When you're 300 plus pounds, that hygiene is difficult. It is a
It
challenge,
is.
especially when you're in a public facility.
It
I
is.
am I am excited that the fold of my belly does not itch constantly and irritate constantly anymore. That excites me. It excites me that I can bend down and even sit on the floor now, and I can get up, and I don't need, it doesn't take me 10 minutes to do it in small, tiny steps in excruciating pain and having to grab onto furniture to try with all of my might to try and lift 300 pounds
Yeah.
plus off the ground. That excites me. Seeing a number, yeah, it makes me smile. Yay. But it also scares the crap out of me because a lot of times seeing that number, that's when I end up going off the rails. It's like a self-sabotage. It does
Self
something
sabotage. Yep.
to me psychologically, which is why I am not one of the people that can weigh myself every day or even every week. Because if I do, it's going to turn into twice a day, 3 times a day, when I wake up, before I eat, after I go to the bathroom, before I go to the bathroom, before I put on my clothes, it's never going to stop.
Right.
So it it does make it brings me a moment of joy, but it doesn't excite me. but it
I can
doesn't take
understand
away
that.
from my pride. I'm still proud. I'm just not excited.
That's a really good way to put it. It's a really real way to put it, and I appreciate you for saying it because a lot of people don't say it. Like the whole cleanliness part, being in public's being clean. Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough to have to hold your pee knowing that you can't fit in a regular stall and you have to wait for the disabled stall, or to know that there really is a disabled person there and a whole, you know, their accessories and everything else, and you're in there because that's the only thing you can fit into. I've been in
Yes.
those situations and it is
Yeah.
scary. And they're just like, "Oh, you're just fat. Like, get out of there. Like, I actually am disabled. Move." Like, that's the real parts of like the traumas that you deal with for being obese for a very long time.
Yeah. Showering wasn't a picnic either.
Period. So I was very overwhelmed, especially when foods is everything and used to be celebrated. Used to celebrate everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is something
Sure
home.
is.
Let's see. Kimji, I think we should normalize that we don't celebrate every win. We are human, and oftentimes we recall things when we need the reminder. It doesn't nullify the experience. Now may not be the time. Now may not be the time. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, because you guys are talking about different conversations. Sorry. But yes. Yes, ladies and gents, we have pushed and pushed to get to a place where we can enjoy something and then just let it go because I've been, yes, hooked on, yep, junk food to cope with life. Yes. I also think that we should normalize motivation and fleeting. Life distracts us, but it doesn't derail our progress. We can get back to the grind when we can keep on going. Yes, perfection is overrated and consistency is key.
Mhm.
Whew, that was a mouthful, but yes, that's what it really is. That a lot of people, especially in the beginning, forget that this is a lifelong journey. That one day is not going to mess up an entire years of progress that you've had. That, you know what? If you want to have that one muffin, because chocolate chip muffins are my trigger, if I'm just going to have one, it's not going to be the end of me. It's okay. And I will log it in my food and everything. And I'll be like, okay, I'm over my calories on that day. It is what it is. But I chose that for me. I chose that not because I'm choosing something bad for myself. It's because I just want to live just a little bit. And unfortunately, I am that person that has a skewed way of liking food. That is a reward for me.
Mm.
Now, people could say I might have backtracked from my progress, but not really. I just gave in and became human for a day. And that is also acceptable.
And that's exactly how I got through my 4 days off the rails and my 10-pound weight gain. Was I had to constantly remind myself, even though it's this many days. And by the way, for the record, I've even been off longer than that, but this is the most weight I've ever gained back, which I'm happy that I've lost, thankfully.
Right.
But I remind myself, even 10 days does not erase the last 100+ pounds. It doesn't erase the
Very
last year. It's
doesn't.
not too late to turn it around and get back. And so
Absolutely.
the other thing is, when has beating yourself up ever actually helped you? When has it ever actually fixed the problem?
Right. Being harsh on yourself. I always say that nobody else can tell me anything that I haven't told myself
Right.
times 1,000, even worse, and believed it, truly believed it.
Hmm.
And that type of mentality has helped me get through a lot of situations that like I thought I couldn't get out of, or a lot of like especially social situations, and I'm like people are judging me or people are looking at me, and it's like no, whatever they have to think or say about me, girl, you've said it to yourself and you've thought it to yourself.
Hmm.
That's it's those mentalities. Darian says you can't keep people from comparing, Phoebe. Don't dim yourself. Aw, people will compare your eyes, hairs, intellect, accent, state, verbalizing skills. Keep doing and sharing as you want. Oh, that is very sweet. Thank you.
It's true. It's true.
Thank you. No one is ever less. Okay, this is a response to you. No, 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 no. No one is ever less than. It's a bad frustration I suffer for it being so long. It's overwhelming dealing with the saga of losing 300 pounds. Yeah. And that's all I was meaning. Yes.
I wasn't trying to criticize or judge or insult Mia, just to, and if I did anything to upset you or make you think that, I sincerely apologize because that was not my intention. I totally agree with you and get what you're saying.
On a personal level, you and Mia would get along really well. Okay, I'm telling you, you guys are
We're
the
on
same.
Instagram. We message each other silly little memes.
Okay, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys talk the same. Like even like on the phone, like if I called you and I called, it'd be like talking to two Mias or two Brendas. I'm just saying, you guys two are like, I just realized that right now. This is two of the same people. Oh, okay. If you want to know what Mia is in real life, watch Brenda. That's really what it is. She said, Phoebe can always tell me not to apologize for being me. Yes, which I always do because I feel less than because of my life choices. People don't put me down a lot now. It's usually me being hard on me. Yes, honey. I'm soaking in what you've said, Darium. Okay. I totally relate on still going to the big bathroom stall. Period. Okay. Oh, was that the end of the comments? Okay. Mia says, pizza sounds so good. I just went to the store, though. Found a mini loaf of sourdough. I couldn't resist. Hey, it sounds like Brenda was like, man, I don't want to say any trigger words up there.
Yeah, I guess
But
I
it's not
did.
necessarily.
My apologies.
I've seen so many people in the chat today be like, oh, I don't know, that pizza sounds good.
And you know what? Truly, that was wrong. I really shouldn't have, and I should have known better because, as someone who's been
Oh,
to
God,
12-step programs, that's one of the things that you don't do is you don't mention the actual substance. So I apologize for triggering anybody.
oh,
Truly, I need to be more careful of that.
you're
Not
so
used to doing
kind.
lives. This is my first one.
I'm saying, like, you're so kind. Like, she's like, I'm really thinking of everything to really make people feel included, not secluded. Like that's Brenda.
Because I know what it feels like not to be included. I know what it
Period.
feels like not to fit in. I know what it feels like not to feel worthy.
And that's where like a lot of that mentality it carries on and it carries
Exactly.
on for a long time. And
It's hard.
that's why like even till today, I just don't give myself enough credit because I've lived very insecure and very I don't feel like I was
Right.
worth anything for a long time. It'll take a lot of years for me to finally get out of that mentality. As there are
Right.
some people, they are naturally like, girl, I'm everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm learning and it's okay to learn because we are learning on this journey. We're not only learning how to, fit macros in and get how much protein, all that. We are learning to for ourselves. We're learning ourselves in a whole different way. And we're
Oh,
learning what our traumas are and that what even like our triggers are and what we have to overcome at the end of the day. Even if it's every single day we have to overcome.
well,
And that's the beauty in it. Go ahead.
well, and the reality too is that not everybody who is obese came from trauma like
That's
that.
true. That
There's a
is
lot of
true.
people where, in their families, they
Some
were loved
hereditary
and praised just as much as a thin person, and they
period.
never really stopped them, and they were a social butterfly, and everybody loved them because of their personality shining through, and they weren't afraid to participate in social situations regardless of their size, and they felt beautiful and they said they were beautiful. So not everybody comes from that type of experience, you
It's
know.
true. It's very, very true. There are those exceptions, and that's the thing, though. Those are exceptions because the majority does feel the
Yeah.
way we feel. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yes, I have met very, very select few people that
Yeah.
they come from loving homes, and
Mhm.
you're like, wow,
Yeah.
you really had everything. You just were overweight, and that's
Yeah.
what it was, and it kept going. And then the trauma started because you had to deal with something that your entire family doesn't deal with. Your entire family doesn't deal with obesity. You are the one. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of like the opposite of my husband because my husband, his whole family's obese and he's not obese. So he's like,
He's
I'm
the
just
odd
the
man out.
right. He's like, I'm the only skinny person in this whole family, and they're just like, how? How did this happen? I don't know. It's just he can eat and eat, nothing happens. I said, his GLP, he has too much GLP. Okay, he needs to share his GLP. She said, "Dang, Brenda, you're totally fine. We will be breaking out of the nursery home together in our 80s." For real, for real. So true. Wow. When has beating myself up ever helped a situation? Period. You are totally okay. Much love to you both. Oh, Mia, I could see you and Brenda doing that. I'm telling you, like talking to Brenda in real life today really feels like talking to Mia. Like,
you need to have me on the next time.
yes, girl. I don't think I can get Mia up here, and that's okay. You know, in due time, she's the one that's like, I'm not ready to go up there, but the day that she is, I would want you two to be up. You two of the same pod. Like it's incredible. It's incredible, honey.
I'm honored to be compared to Mia. She's
Aww,
a good person and very
she
sweet.
is incredible. She really is. Journey says, "Too late. The pizza's in the oven already." Brenda, Brenda and me are so much the same. If you are alone, I'm picking to sit with you, and I tried to get you with the group. I wanted all my friends to be with my other friends. It's a huge part of my heart. Yay!
I can tell that, Mia. Thank you.
He said, "Go, Journey, go." Well, we have been on for 2 hours and 25 minutes, and I've enjoyed every single minute of it. I've enjoyed all the conversations. I enjoyed everybody's input. And for the people I didn't get to, I'm sorry. My chat jumped, and I was trying to get through like the hellos and stuff. And when I bring somebody up here, I kind of want to have an organic conversation with them. And I don't want to feel like I'm having to like interrupt them. And sometimes I do because you guys are talking too, and that's fine. And you know, I got to go through the comments, but usually when somebody's up here, I don't go through every single one. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. I didn't mean to. Okay, I'm here for you, okay? But thank you, Brenda. And God, honestly, thank you for being here, for opening yourself up, and for being non-apologetic. There you go, unapologetic, in a sense, just being you, being real. And thank you for agreeing to do this in general, because I really didn't know if you were going to do this. And this is your first time up here, and I'm honored that it was with me.
Well, I'm very honored. I've never been so honored to talk about being fat in my life.
Period. In the
Thank
whole
you for inviting me, and thanks to everybody who's out there that have been so sweet with your comments and
yes,
being part of this tonight. And I think a lot of it was my fault. I was just talking too much, and I do have ADHD, and it gets me in trouble every time.
If
But
it
thank
takes
you.
2 hours, it takes 2 hours. It's fine. Okay? If I can talk up here and relate, honey, I could talk up here and relate, honey, okay? I love it. And it's okay. And like, yeah, like it's weird talking about being fat. It's just like and being like through the stages of fatness and just to talk about it in general. But we're all experiencing it in some way, or else we wouldn't be on especially Zepbound. Okay, most of us are on Zepbound for weight loss. The majority that isn't, that's okay, because we can also relate to that too. Just thank you for allowing this to be your first live, and I hope I lived up to your expectations of the first live.
The only expectation I had was that you were going to be kind, which I already knew that about you. There weren't no expectations. There really weren't. It's just I just thought I would have fun. Paula and Cookie kept saying how much fun I would have, and I did. And I'm really, truly, I'm very flattered that you wrote to me and that you reached out to me and invited me to do this. Thank you. I can't think of a better way to have a first live, and it's very nice to sit and talk to you face to face. I really enjoyed
Yes, it is. I enjoyed this just as much, honey, and you're welcome. Okay, when I see somebody as real as can be, I just want to gravitate, just latch on, and that's who you are. So don't ever change who you are, please. Just like Darian said, you say things and you don't care if it's not comfortable to the other person. Don't change that part of you. It's amazing and it's wonderful.
Thank you. Same to you.
Mia, I'm there if Brenda won't be alone. Oh, great.
Cookie, a real quick little fun.
Go ahead.
Me being technologically challenged, was pushing buttons on YouTube and found myself in a live accidentally.
No way.
Yes. And Cookie found me.
Oh, that's really sweet.
And she stayed with me because all of a sudden now people that we didn't know started popping in on this live. And God
That's
bless
really
her,
cute.
she stayed with me until the last person left. And then it took me a while to figure out how to get out of the live, and Cookie stayed with me to the
Oh
bitter
my God.
end. So
God bless Cookie's heart, because
I
Cookie
am
loves
so grateful. So that was my first live, but that was an accident. And it was a very short live, thankfully, because I didn't.
That's so
I just
cute.
gotta explore and press buttons, and that one got me in trouble.
I can't imagine accidentally going live as my first live. Girl.
If you look on my channel, that's my one and only live.
I gotta look at it. And to be honest, just to see it, that is hilarious. She says, "Oh, love this live, you too. Nice seeing you, Brenda." Yes. She said that's awesome. Yes. Her first live is probably the best experience I've heard. Everyone's nervous. Everyone's like, they're like, "Oh my God, is it going to be okay?" Brenda said, "That was my accident, honey. Okay." I did not know that was going to happen. That is
I am
cute.
the goofiest person. I do all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm
Brenda,
like
you're adorable.
a 54-year-old in a 3-year-old brain sometimes.
Period. Okay, honey. Well, I gotta get going. So I love you guys, and I will say this. Please don't ever forget to pollinate this world with love, joy, and kindness. Always, always choose kindness. Why? Because words alone can truly make somebody's day. Yay! Thank you again, Brenda, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I love you, sweetheart. And anytime you want to come back, let me know. Okay? Because I don't mind.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. Good night, everybody. Yes, Cookie. Thank you everybody for being here to support Miss Brenda as well. And Miss Brenda's channel will be in the description. You could just click on it. I'm gonna put a collaboration link. I'll email it to you, Brenda. And so whenever anybody clicks on this, they'll see mine and your channel together. So they can go and see you too. So check out Miss Brenda, honey. She is everything. Okay? Thank you guys. I love you guys. Okay, I gotta always press it 2 times. Bye, guys. Love you.
Good night.